So, good evening, everyone. Whether my voice is coming and my presentation, can you able to see?
Yes, yeah, it is
So,
visible.
good evening, everyone. My name is Keshav, and as I am continuing my series related to SQL, so today is my third lecture related to SQL structured query language. So, firstly, we will do some recap portion related to my previous presentation, so that it will be easy for you to connect with me. So, in my previous presentation, I have showed you how different types of databases, whether it can be a MongoDB or what I have to say, it can be if the database is no SQL, how data can be stored inside that. If the data is a hierarchical database, then how the data is stored. These are the examples. Here you can see if the network database, then how the data are linked with the nodes, and if the data is relational, then how data is stored in the form of table. So this I have already told you in my previous presentation. And in previous presentation, the topics which I have explained are introduction to SQL, what we can do if we use SQL, examples of vendors that set up the servers for SQL database, SQL versus MySQL, installation of MySQL, and understanding MySQL Workbench and MySQL Shell. And last one is running basic commands in both SQL Workbench and Shell. So these are the topics I've covered in my previous presentation. Here you can see introduction to SQL, what we can do if we use the SQL, data retrieval, data definition, data modification, as well as data control. So here you can see the list of vendors who can act as the middleman in between the database and the original database and a normal layman user, or what I have to say, a client machine. So these are the vendors: Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, IBM DB2, SQLite, MariaDB, and Teradata. And our focus is basically on MySQL. We will use this server, MySQL Server. So MySQL DBMS, Database Management System. So next is I have clarify the difference between SQL and MySQL. So SQL is a language, but MySQL is a database management system which uses SQL to interact with our database, which is basically the relational database. Then after I have told you how we can install the MySQL server full installation process. I've already told you. Now, next is understanding the workbench and understanding command line client. So this much I have covered in my previous presentation. Now, so I will again move to my today's presentation. So I have covered this recap portion for today. Wait a minute. Hmm. So now next is the topics which I will cover in this presentation are, here you can see five topics I will cover today. What is relational model? What I have to say, what are the features we can get to know while understanding the relational model? The table, attributes, rows, cardinality, degree, null, and domain. Now next is the final definition of relational model. Third one is the relation versus relationship, and with reference to a database management system, we will see. Fourth one is the types of SQL commands, and fifth one is commands in each SQL type. So, first topic is relational model. So, as I have already told you, in relational database management system, our data is stored in the form of tables. So here you can see I have added one image. Here you can see this is a table which is an employee table, which is depicting a relation between various type of employees. Here you can see in this table, it is not necessary we can only store only one employee details. We can store various employee details with their relation, with their relation. Uh, and that relation we can show in the form of a schema. Here you can see I have added one. This here you can see in the last line it is written employee ID, e-name, salary, bonus, and department. So if this is a table, then we can firstly relational. Firstly, I will show you 2 points. Relational database store data in relation or tables. Firstly, this is an important point. Every relational database store the data in a form of tables, and each relation or table must have a name. So here you can see if this is a table which is related to employee names, their salary, bonus, and department, then that table must have a name. And in the last line, I have written the name of table also, which is an employed. employee, which is so employee is the name of a table with attributes as ID, e-name, salary, bonus, and department. So these are the attributes. So if we write the last line as such, I have written in this diagram. So that whole line is called as relational schema. And every instances of relational schema, here you can see with the relational schema is, if the relational schema contains the attributes ID, e-name, salary, and bonus and department, then every instances of relational schema contains the data of each individual. So each individual data separately we can call it as relational instances or rows or records. So these here you can see in this table, employee table, there are four records, or we can say there are four relational instances of a single relational schema. Schema contains name of attributes. Here you can see the I will cover this attribute in my next slide, but try to cooperate. Just try to listen. ID, e-name, salary, bonus, and departments are the attributes of a table, and table name is employee, and each and together we called it as a relational schema. And relational schema contains various relational instances of a different individual, or what I have to say, objects. So in this table there are four objects, so there are total of four relational instances or rows or records. So this is how we can say relational schema or table look like. Now next is attributes. So an attribute is a name of a column in a relational or a table, in a relation or table. So here you can see each table having some attributes. So this is a similar example. This is a similar table, which is an employee table. And here you can see the name of attributes. Here you can see ID, e-name, salary, bonus, and department. So these are the attributes which are the part of this relation, which are the part of this table. So it stores the specific information about the object or particular relational instance. So for a particular relational instance, if I take an example, if I consider a second relational instance, which is ID2, name is Ethan McCarthy, salary is 90,000, bonus 2,000, and department ETA. So this is a single what I have to say, single information about a object. So these information we can represent it with the help of attributes only. So because 9,000 can we have already depicted 9,000 as with the salary attribute. So and Ethan McCarthy as a e-name with and e-name is another attribute for that similar relational instance. So we can assign a different attributes for a single instance, and together we collectively represent in the form of tables. So if the table name is employee, so it contains various attributes also named as ID, name, salary, bonus, and department. And and for each object, there is a attributes related to it. So this is an example of an attributes. So now next is rows. So what are rows? A tuple in a row is a relation. It represents the relationship between attributes that can be contain single value. So so here you can see in my previous slide, I have told how relation consists of a different types of attributes as well as rows. So here I have considered 2 points related to rows, which is a tuple is a row. In a relational database or a table, we called rows as a tuple also. So a tuple in a row is a relation. It represents relationship between attributes that can contain a single value. So here you can see these are the four rows, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have again considered the same example. So these are the rows, and each row is having attributes, or what I have to say, each object consists of different attributes, and each attributes having the different values. So if I consider the what I have to say, fourth relational instance, then fourth instance if I consider the fourth instance, then it is having four attributes: ID, ename, salary, bonus, and department, and each instance having the five values mapped with each attributes. So 4 is mapped with ID. Jack Abraham is act with ename attribute. 30,000 attribute salary attribute, and 1,000 is mapped with bonus attribute, and ETA is mapped with department attribute. So these are how rows are represented in the form of table. Rows are there in the relational table. Now next is what is cardinality. So cardinality of a relation is the number of rows it contains. So cardinality of a relation given below is 4. So here you can see this in an example. So cardinality just represent how many what if say how many total objects are there in your table. How many different datas of different types of person are there in your table. That is basically the cardinality of a relation. So if your table consists of four set of information of different peoples, then cardinality of that table is 4. So here you can see in this table the information of four persons are there with ID 1 2 3 4. So total cardinality of the relation is 4, and we called cardinality also as the number of records, rows and tuples. So these are the just different names. So next is the degree. Yeah, is there anyone having any doubt till now?
Can you
No,
tell me the relationship between a cardinality and a rows?
What can you please
Basically,
say?
a tuple.
Repeat.
Can you give me a difference between a tuple and a cardinality?
So okay. So tuple, here you can see tuple are similar as relational instance. Like अगर अगर हम पूरी एक रो लेते हैं, जैसे इस टेबल में आप देख सकते हैं फोर जैक अब्राहम, अगर हम आखिरी रिलेशनल इंस्टेंस ले रहे हैं फोर जैक अब्राहम 30,100 एंड ईटीए, तो ये पूरा एक डाटा एक मेरा रिलेशनल इंस्टेंस है। उस पूरे डाटा को हम कहेंगे, पूरी रो को कहेंगे क्या बोलेंगे, टपल। सेम नेम है। लेकिन जो कार्डिनैलिटी है वो काउंट बताता है कितने उस टेबल में मेरे ऑब्जेक्ट्स है, कितने लोगों का डेटा है। तो उस टेबल में, जैसे इस टेबल में कार्डिनैलिटी हमको ये बता रहा है कि टोटल फोर रिलेशनल इंस्टेंसेस हैं, तो उसकी कार्डिनैलिटी 4 होती है। तो कार्डिनैलिटी जस्ट टेलिंग मी द नंबर ऑफ different what I have to say different of information about a different person which are stored in that relational table. So it's just telling me the number of instances for different peoples in that are stored in that table. तो कार्डिनैलिटी हमको ये बताता है कि उस टेबल में कितने लोगों के मेरे डेटा स्टोर्ड है, पर्टिकुलर लोग। बट एक अगर हम पूरी इंस्टेंस उठा लेते हैं, जैसे एक पर्टिकुलर इंस्टेंस निकालते हैं विद डेटा, वो डेटा ही पूरा मेरा वो होता है, टपल होता है। उसमें हम नंबर नहीं बताते हैं कि ये पूरा एक है। तो नंबर हम लोग बताते हैं, वो कार्डिनैलिटी में बताते हैं। ओके।
Got it.
ओके। So now next is degree. So degree of a relation is the number of attributes that the relation contains. Degree of relation given below is 4. So degree is like cardinality. So number of rows, if we each row in a table, we called it as a relational instance, and number of relational instances we called it as a cardinality. Similarly, number of attributes are also there in relational tables, but if we represent that number of attributes in the form of number, then we called it as a degree. So here in this table, number of attributes are ID, e-name, salary, bonus, and department. These are the name of attributes. And total number of attributes are there as here you can see are 5, because ID, e-name, salary, bonus, and department together, if we count it total as 5. So degree of this table is 5. So degree of table just represent the how many attributes are there in a table. So this is basically the degree. So for this given below table, degree of relation is 5. Degree of relation given below is 5 for this table. And it is not necessary that every data in the table must be filled. So if the data in a particular table is not filled, then we called that in vacant data as a null data, because nothing is stored inside it. So there is a null or vacancy, there a vacancy is created in that space. So we called it as null. So this is how we can define a degree for a given relation. So next is the domain. A domain is a set of allowable values for one or more attributes. Like अगर ये मेरी टेबल दी हुई है, तो इस लेट्स से अगर सैलरी का डिपार्टमेंट है, तो सैलरी का अगर डिपार्टमेंट है, तो हमने एक डोमेन सेट कर दिया है कि सैलरी जो होगी, अगर जो भी उस टेबल में ज्वाइन कर रहा है, तो किसी की भी सैलरी 20,000 से नीचे नहीं होगी, और 80,000 से ऊपर नहीं होगी, 90,000 से ऊपर नहीं होगी। So these are the two constraints I have already allocated for my table. So अगर किसी की भी अगर कोई नया डेटा फीड होता है मेरी टेबल में, लाइक इन दिस टेबल हियर यू कैन सी फोर डेटा इज filled about four different persons. So now if I want to add one more data for a fifth person inside this table, then as I have already said, salary cannot be below 20,000 and more than 90,000. So if anyone tries to add a salary more than 90,000, then our system will not allow him to add such type of data in this table. So we define domain for a particular attribute. Domain tells us how many allowable values can a person set inside the database. So here I have written one example like department. So if there are four persons, so all those person. So for department attributes, allowable domain is ICP, ETA, and IBS. So if any other person tries to add a department other than these three, then that will not then our system will not allowed to enter that value inside the database table. So domain is defined for an attribute. So I think it is clear, or I have to explain this again.
Yes, it is very clear.
Okay. So now next is so as we understand what is attributes, what is rows, what is domain, what are records, what are null. So we when we together collectively try to study all this for a relational table, then we called it as a final definition of relational model. So I have added one definition. A collection of relation with distinct relation names is called a relational model. So here you can see this is a final definition which consists of four relational instances and one relational schemas. Schemas consist of different types of attributes, and number of attributes we called it as number of attributes we called it as what I have to say columns or fields, and no sorry, I forget one term. Number of attributes we called it as a degree, sorry. Number of attributes we called it as a degree, and number of relational instances or number of tables we called it as a cardinality also. And if there is any vacant space that is left inside our database table, then that vacant space we called it as null. And number of records, here you can see I've already told you, and there is a domain for each attribute. So domain is actually a constraints which we predefined while building our table, that only that values are allowed to be feeded inside the database which are there inside the domain. Other than domain values, we cannot insert inside our database. So that is called a domain set for a particular relational table. So when we collectively study all these related to a table, then that we together define as a final definition of relational model. So wait a minute. So collection of relation with distinct relation names is called a relational model. So this is the final diagram. Now next is a difference between a relation versus a relationship in with a reference of DBMS. So there is a difference between a relation and a relationship if we consider the subject related to DBMS. So what is a relation? So a relation in a table, a relation is a table in a relational database consisting of rows, tuples, and columns which are attributes. Each relation represents a set of data which with each row representing a record and each column representing a specific attribute of that record. So relation is just a collectively what we have to say collection of a different relational instances with attribute with collection of different relational instances with attributes and columns. So this is just a relation. And relationship refers to the association or a connection between two or more relation or tables. So relationship is defined when we try to make a relation between two different tables. So that's called a relationship. Relation is just exist for one table only, but relationship exists between more than one tables, between the one or more tables. So that's a relationship. So in database design, relationship define how a data in one table is related to the data in another table. So relationship is defined when we try to merge two tables with some relation. So at that so when that case arises, then we define a relationship between two tables. So for example, a foreign key establishes a relationship between two tables, often described as one to one, one to many, and many to many. Foreign key, I will cover this in my further presentation. Foreign key, primary key, candidate key, and super key. So different types of key I will cover in my future presentation. But right now, just try to understand foreign key is the key which makes a connection between two different tables, or which may establishes a relationship between two tables. So, so if we summarize the difference between relation versus relationship, so relation just exists in one table only with just exist in one table only, which consists of different number of columns, and each relation instance is having a set of attributes in it. So that's a relation. But in relationship, we tries to connect or establish a relation between two or more tables. So that's a relationship. We create a relationship with the help of foreign key. So I will explain foreign key in my future presentation, but right now I will not cover this. So in short, a relation is a data structure table, while a relationship defines how tables interact with each other. So this is the difference between relation versus relationship. Now next is type of SQL commands. So from here our important topic starts. So, what important topic with reference to a practical approach. Like from here, our practical stuffs will be start, like implementing the commands over the MySQL server. So, before implementing those commands, just try to understand types of SQL command. So, on the basis of types of operation performed over the database, the SQL basically divided into four types. So, with the type of operation, whether we have to create something over our server, whether we have to manipulate something over our database, which is actually a relational database. So SQL can be classified into four types. First one is the DDL. The full form of DDL is data definition language. Second one is DCL, data control language. Third one is data manipulation language, DML. And last one is TCL, transaction control language. We will cover each in very depth in our future presentations. But try to understand SQL structure on the basis of operation performed over the database. SQL is basically divided into four types: DDL, DCL, DML, and TCL. The full form of all these I have already included in my in this slide. So next is commands in each SQL types. So in my previous slide, I have told you how on the basis of operation, the commands are classified and how many types are divided. So four types are divided: DDL, DCL, DML, and TCL. Now further, all these are divided into different types of commands. So DDL is divided into four types of basic commands. First one is create, second is alter, drop, and truncate. So create is used to create a new database objects, or we can also use create to create a new table also. Next one is alter, modify existing database objects or modify existing table or add a column in a table. We will see all this when we cover the practical approach of all these commands. Now, third one is drop. Drop is used to delete existing database objects. Fourth one is truncate, remove all rows from table. Difference between drop and truncate is it is very important. We will cover this also in our future presentation. So now next is inside the DCL command. The commands are grant and revoke. So grant is provide access rights on database that if we use grant, then we will hello. Huh. So if we use grant, then with the help of grant, we will give a authority that who will be the main authorized person who has having access to our database. So these are the function of grant. We will cover this also in brief. Now next is revoke, withdraw access of rights on database. DML consists of also four commands: insert, update, delete, and select. Insert are used to create new rows in a table. Update are used to modify data in a table. Delete are used to delete data from tables, and select retrieve data from tables in a different type in a different varieties. So with the help with the select, we can if we add some conditions with the select, then according to that condition, we can perform different and majority of different operations. Uh, uh, Majority of different operations for the retrieval of data from our database. So this is actually a select command do. So we will cover all these commands in brief. So right now, no, don't need to worry about this. Now next is TCL command, transaction control language. It consists of also two commands, commit and rollback. So commit is to save database changes and end transaction, and last one is rollback, undo changes that are not committed and end transactions. So we will all cover this in brief. So right now, just see how this flow or uh, dividation is happens inside the with inside the SQL structured query language. So how this structured query language is divided into four types, and each type is again divided into some commands. So this is how we can see on the basis of types of operation performed over the database. The SQL basically divided into four types, and each type contains variety of commands. So this is how flow goes. So So this much I have to cover for today. So as I have not included the slides related to all these practical stuffs. So I will not. I will cover the practical stuff from my next session. So this much I have to cover for today only. So thank you. If anyone is having any doubt, then he or she can ask.
Rajnash, I have one doubt. Sorry, Keshav, I have one doubt.
What?
What is the difference between DML commands and DDL commands?
DML and
DDL.
DML and wait a minute. So TDL command, like if I want to wait a minute. Firstly, I will zoom this. So wait a minute. Hmm. So basically, a data definition language is like when we try to create a something like when we want to create a database, or when we try to create a structure of our table or structure of database, then we use the DDL command. So it defines how our database looks like, so how our table looks like. Basically, it talks about the structure. So all the alteration which we have to perform over our database or a table, then at that time we will use DDL commands. But data manipulation language or a DML commands, we will use all these when we want to do any updation or changes in a existing database or a table. We do not have to we do not have to alter any do not have when we do not have to alter on any structure of an existing table or database, then we use the DML command. But when we have to change something over the structure of any database or table, then at that time we will use DDL commands. So जब हमको एग्जिस्टिंग किसी टेबल या डेटाबेस में अगर कोई चेंजमेंट करना होता है, तो हम डेटा मैनिपुलेशन लैंग्वेज या डीएमएल कमांड्स का यूज करते हैं, जिसमें इंसर्ट, अपडेट, डिलीट और सिलेक्ट आता है। लेकिन इन चारों को यूज करके मेरे ओरिजिनल डेटाबेस या टेबल के स्ट्रक्चर पे कोई इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ता है। स्ट्रक्चर इन द सेंस लाइक अगर मैंने कोई टेबल का स्ट्रक्चर बनाया है, लाइक अगर कोई स्टूडेंट टेबल है, तो उसके अंदर अगर स्ट्रक्चर मेरा डिफाइंड है नेम, लाइक नेम, रोल नंबर एंड एड्रेस और कॉन्टेक्ट नंबर, फोर एट्रीब्यूट्स आर डिफाइंड इनसाइड दैट स्टूडेंट टेबल। सो अगर हम इंसर्ट, अपडेट, डिलीट या सिलेक्ट यूज करते हैं, तो हम उस टेबल के स्ट्रक्चर पर चेंजमेंट नहीं कर पा रहे, उसमें अभी भी चार के चार ही एट्रीब्यूट्स प्रेजेंट है। लेकिन हम इंसर्ट, अपडेट, डिलीट या सिलेक्ट से उस टेबल के जो वैल्यूज है, यानी कि रिलेशनल इंस्टेंसेस पे चेंज कर सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर हम डीडीएल कमांड्स यूज करते हैं, तो लाइक अगर हम लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल, अगर हम अल्टर कमांड यूज कर रहे हैं, जो कि डीडीएल का एक कमांड है। सो अल्टर कमांड अगर हम टेबल पे यूज कर रहे हैं, तो अल्टर कमांड की हेल्प से अगर हम एक नया एट्रीब्यूट भी ऐड कर सकते हैं एग्जिस्टिंग टेबल्स में, तो वो हम टेबल का स्ट्रक्चर चेंज कर रहे हैं। So I think it is clear now, Vedant. Vedant?
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Keshav.
Anything else? Anything else want to ask anything? Anyone else want to ask anything?
No.
Okay. So this much, sorry guys, I have not included practical stuff for today, but from my next presentation, I will include basically 5 to 10 commands So sorry for today. I have not included some practical stuff, but from next presentation, I will definitely include some practical command. I will show you how actually the command works over the MySQL shell. So thank you for today. So Rudransh, you can carry on with your today's presentation. I will stop sharing my screen. Now you can share your screen. Thank you.
Okay, wait a minute. I'll start after that.
Rudransh.
Yeah, okay, so wait a minute. I'll start.
Rudransh, I think actually 6 minutes are left, so I think you can end up this meeting and make a new fresh meeting, start a new meeting again, and then again you can, then after you can start the presentation.
Okay, okay. So join it again correctly.
Yes, your screen is visible, but your audio is having some.
Screen is visible or my voice is correctly audible to all of
Actually, the screen is also missing.
Okay, give me a second.
Now, okay, now it is visible and your voice is also coming.
Yes, yes, you can start.
Okay, so in my previous presentation, I will explain all about the thing like how to run commands in uh, Python in Docker, like HTML file and Python files, all of the programming languages programs we can run with the help of Docker containers. So basically, if you run any program, then a process is instantiated on your desktop on your machine, and the process is exited after the processing your program. But if you want like smoothness, like if you want to implement multi-threading concept in your laptop, if you run two or three programs simultaneously, then it may cause some problem. Okay, so if you run these all commands or like all programs in multiple different containers or in a single container also, then it will provide smoothness to your system and your programs also to run smoothly. Okay, so in my previous presentation, at the end, I got an error, that is the TLE handshake error. So firstly, previous class, sometimes these problems occur due to low internet connection. In my case, that is the problem here. So sometimes this problem occurs due to a low internet connection. When you reach, give me a second. Okay, when you reach an area with a good internet connection, the problem is automatically resolved. So this is the problem occur where the cursor is like here handshake timeout. This problem occurs sometimes due to the configuration also. Actually, after the Kushagra presentation in previous session, I will tell you about all this and run all this. But those who are like want to simultaneously only in the Docker session want to see how to resolve this problem. Am I audible correctly to all of you? All you?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, okay. Okay, so here unable to find image due to TLS handshake timeout problem. This problem can be resolved. This problem occurs due to the configuration or due to low internet connection or like a path environment variable is not setted. But in my case, the problem is due to low internet connection. So if you want to see here, like if I go previously and run the command by which it gives an error. So give me a second. Actually, that is the big command. And the problem is resolved. The problem is resolved this docker run slash it slash v, and after that the problem is resolved correctly. Okay, so I will move in the next slide because if I write all the stuffs today, I have much content to cover. Actually, this
Ash, your
content,
audio is not clear. It is
okay,
having vision.
my audio is not clear.
Actually, it is lagging behind. So
Okay,
there's a problem of lagging, Rudransh.
this time the problem is resolved or not? I will change the internet connection.
Better, Rudransh, better.
Better. Okay, so here is the command docker run slash it. So if you all want to like see, actually in my previous session I also taught all this, but I will check whether this command is present here. Then I doesn't have to write it. Otherwise, I have to write all this. Okay, so this command is here. So if I run this, okay, so Python can't open slash app.py due to the, okay, so this problem here, if I want to run the main.py file like hello Rudransh, print hello Rudransh, so python.app, so just change our directory to the folder that is python slash app, so cd python app. So I change the directory, and this time I want to run the main.py file, just I write the command this, not this. I just copied it here. Actually, it is a big command. If you want to write, then write. Mhm. So here you can see hello Rudransh is printed. So for this, like main.py, a container is created and stops simultaneously, like after running the program. Like this is the simple command python run slash it. I explain each word. Docker is a Docker client. Run. This is a basic command to run a container. Docker indicates Docker client. Okay. Run indicates you want to run in a container. Slash it integrates it explains that in the interactive mode, and slash v indicate you want to map with your this python.app folder, and this dollar and pwd symbol, like Keshav said said us that dynamically javascript this dollar symbol like add the path. Okay, so all these paths go to the app in slash app, and after that python slash alpine, this is the base image which by that base image we can run our this program main.py. So after this, like alpine python app slash main, this is all the commands to run. Basically after alpine, you have to write the command by which you want to run the program inside the container. So till here all of you clear? If a is equals to 1, b is equals to 2, and if I want to print a plus b, so here, is 3 is printed. So by that you can see uh like this is printed due to normal python. This is the basic, like if you want to run any program, this is the normal command. If you want to run with the help of container, just write this. And after this, okay, so I have to change again the directory, that is the python, the app, and again I write the command. This time you will get the same output which is printed with the help of the default command python/u and all of the stuffs. So till here, if you have any doubt, then ask.
Rudransh,
Yes.
here in your command you have written Python colon Alpine, and you have told yes Alpine is a base image. So I just want to ask, Alpine is a image which you have told that this is a base image. It is comes by default with the Docker, or what is it?
Okay, so if you just write the Python, like if you want to import the image from the Docker Hub, you send the request and just write the Python, then the image comes, which is that is the base image. Okay, if you want to write like if you want to import a particular version of that, just write Python slash Python and the version name from in the place of Alpine. Take. So Python and the latest. If you write the Python and latest, then the latest version of Python is coming, which is the latest upgraded version in the Docker Hub. Okay. So this time, Keshav, clear or I?
Okay, 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 you can continue.
Okay. So just move in our slides. Actually, sometimes it's give problem. Yes. So we move. If there are some dependencies present, then you can follow this process to create a custom images. So tell me, like if you like that in the database, there are multiple dependencies present. Okay. So if you want to run any program that is bounded with certain amount of files that is depend on your system, then you can't create like can't run the programs. Is basically if like in this program which I have running like Python main.py file, that is a simple program based on a particular image. But by some means, if I want to run a program that is the interaction between the client to a user, client to the database, sorry, not the user, client to the database, then that is here the dependency. Mongo image is dependent on your user image, and Mongo image is dependent also on the base image that is available in the Docker Hub portion. So if there are some dependencies present, then you can follow this process to create custom images, because for like dependency section, interaction and two or three things are present simultaneously, then these are all dependent. Okay, so for that you don't have a certain image where you get all the files related to that. For that you have to create a particular image that is called the custom image. So that with the help of Docker file and with the help of base image, like in the Docker file, we keep the base image and add some what is basically image. Either it is a set of FS layers. So some file system layers is added over the image, base image, and after that the image is created that is called the custom image. So image is based on your Docker file. Okay, container is based on your image. So if there are some dependencies present, then you can follow this process to create the custom images in Docker. There are some steps: create Docker images based on Docker file using Docker build command. So I will cover the Docker build command next slide. So till here, if you have any doubt, then ask.
No doubt, Rudransh.
Okay, so I move in the next slide. So after step one, so what is the first step? Like for the application, like interaction between client and database, you have to create a system, and for that system you have to use the custom image, not the built-in images that is present on the Docker Hub. So step one is to create Docker file, and after that we can create a custom image based on that Docker file. After step one, custom image is created. So custom image how created? So just write Docker file is there, Docker build command you have to write, and after that you can build a image. So how, like which command I have to write for the Docker So just here Docker file is there, and Docker build. This is the simple command to convert Docker file from to the Docker image. So Docker build. Docker here, I tell you previously that Docker is represents your client, reference to the client. Build an image from the Docker file, and dot is the location of the current directory, slash t add name with tags for the new image, and that is the name of the new image. So if you want to post this image in the Docker Hub, you also did it. If you want to share it some with someone with your friend, like I have created some image. I have created a complete interaction images, like a dependent images also. Then I share it to my friend. I just post this image to the Docker Hub. Like if you I want to share any project to my friend, then I just upload it in the GitHub. And in a similar way, just I upload the image which I have created in my desktop to the Docker Hub. Okay. So with your friend, and for posting, just append the username. If you want to like this will build an custom image in your desktop. If you want to share it in the Docker Hub, the just append the username to here, where is tag position, just slash username slash this, and all of the stuff is same. If there is no tag assigned, then it will take by default latest. So if you like Keshav tell me previously that Alpine is like base image. For that, if I want to create a custom image, then that is not the base image. Always custom image based on some base image. So custom is automatically assigned to the latest tag. All of you clear till this point? If you have any doubt, then ask.
No, Rudransh.
Okay, so just I change the directory to the Python custom. So if you all want to like I have to if you all want that I have to write in the new file, then tell me. Otherwise, I can use which is like written by default. I have tried all these commands. So here a main.py file is here. Actually, today my presentation is big. So just I run all the commands. So uh, by this you can get the knowledge how to like run the commands. Like here the Python custom folder is created. I just write Python and custom, so that here we can change the directory Python app to the Python custom. So in the Python custom folder, in the Python custom directory, we are in the main.py file. So this is the basic program by which you can interact with your client. So if I try run this, so just go here and just hit here. So run container based on a particular image. Okay, so this is the basic line of code to connect with the MongoDB. Here, PyMongo is basically, we can say PyMongo is basically created dependent due to like interact with your Mongo database. PyMongo is basic, we can say basic module to interact with your Mongo database. Okay, so PyMongo import, this all are the default commands. So Mongo URL slash MongoDB and double slash and Mongo. With what is this Mongo here? Mongo is the host
Uh,
name of the server. Okay, what? Keshav, are you want to?
you are importing. I think you are want to you are saying. I think you are importing my Mongo client from a package called PyMongo. I think.
Yes, yes. That is,
Okay.
but actually, I use the PyMongo. Whatever telling that PyMongo we have get पाई मोंगो ले रहा हूं, इसका मतलब ये है कि पाई मोंगो पहले तो ये अगर ये लाइन इज शो कर रहा है, ये करली जो लाइन दिख रही है नीचे, ये लाइन इसलिए शो कर रही है क्योंकि पाई मोंगो मेरे में इंस्टॉल नहीं है। इसीलिए मैंने बोला कि पाई मोंगो को इंस्टॉलेशन जरूरी है मॉड्यूल का रन इंटरेक्शन कराने के लिए। बाय दैट इफ फर्स्टली इंस्टॉल्ड पाई मोंगो, आफ्टर दैट when the PyMongo is successfully installed, then we import the Mongo client from here. Okay, so clear this point?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so after that pprint and import preprint, that is pprint हमारा by default available होता है आपके पाइथन उसमें लाइब्रेरी में पाइथन default जब आप when you install your Python language, then pprint is associated in your like Python module. Okay, so Mongo URL, that is a by default port name is also 270 and 17 is a by default port name in the Mongo database. Okay, so and what is Mongo here? Host name of the server, that is Mongo. Client is equals to Mongo client, Mongo URL. This that is the particular instance of your client. db.client.admin. Here we can change our database to admin. Okay, so db list is db.command. After that, db is your admin database, and here list database whatever in the uh, present inside your database. This time db.list. Okay, db.command. This will list all the database. Okay, so db slash list, it will print all the database list. So here why like where we run the Mongo, why print is not used, pprint is used? Can anyone tell? Okay.
Don't know, Rudransh.
Okay, okay. So the reason why pprint is for using pprint instead of print is primarily for readability and formatting. It is the modular form of your print statement, especially when dealing with the complex or nested data structures like dictionaries or list. Because in the database, the like in you tell that in the MySQL there are multiple columns and rows are present. So here a key value is present in the Mongo database. So for that, for list and all other like complex data structures or nested data structures, we use the pprint because it is the modular form of your print. Pprint is pretty what is the pretty print formats data structure in a more readable way, adding line breaks and indentation whenever where necessary. This is specifically useful when printing large dictionaries, JSON objects, or list. So till here, all of you understand what I am trying to say and all the stuffs till this point.
Yes, Rudransh.
Okay, so just we move here. So here, like main.py file, this is the basic, like I explained all of the stuffs here. So just I like Docker build.
Your audio is lagging.
Okay. Okay. This time the voice is correctly clear to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So here you can see I just based on this main.py file, just I make our custom image that is called the Python custom. Okay. So here all of you clearly see my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, it's visible.
And make the session interactive. You can ask the questions and because this is the some topic which like interest to all of you because all of you are working on a programming language on or database connection or all other stuffs in a projects. So you can ask me how to deploy the projects in the database. I am also beginner, but I try to answer in the best way. Okay. And again, I will give you path and you can also try to use the chat gpt and all the stuffs, but here till here. So if you want to like in your projects you have a particular dependency is there, just write the code and this is the main code. For that I have to build an image for this this is a base image. Okay, main.py file, this is the base image uh, based on a particular image that is called the Python. So after that, just I created, actually here I automatically, like I previously done all of the stuff, just I clearly show you because the time constraint. If you want to to write, if you want with me to write programs, all of this like Docker file, I have to create, then ask me, then I have created, I just wrote not right. So just in a Docker file, if you write just Docker file, there is no command needed by which VS Code can understand. But VS Code is dynamically understand whatever you want, but you have to write in a similar way where I have to write in here. Okay? So from Python Alpine, this will import a base image. Like if you just write from. So here you can see from, and after space, base image is there. So base image is required. Okay. Like from set the base image to use the subsequent instructions. So I tell you that image is also, custom image is also based on some base image. So just control Z it is. So I just import the from Python to Python Alpine. Okay. So working directory, I set it to the app. So this basically this is the section where this image is stored. Run after for this all of the steps you have to run pip install. Pip is the installer for Python. Install pymongo. I tell you that here like if I scroll that, pymongo could not be resolved because this is not present in my desktop. If I run this command simultaneously, the pymongo is generated, and pymongo, this command is running because after running docker build slash t python custom, this docker file steps is follows. So firstly it will import like Python base image, it will store in the working directory, then it will run this pymongo command. After that pymongo is installed. So so what is copy dot slash app? Can anyone explain what this indicates? Copy dot slash app, to make the session interactive.
It is like to calling a directory of a file.
Yes, you are going in the correct way. So just we import the main.py file to the app. Okay, because our app Python Alpine version is present. If I run this dot means, okay, so here you can clearly see dot. I think it copy will show. Okay, so dot means clearly that that is your main.py file. Okay, that dot means correctly your directory. So any of the Python file is present in your Python custom directory, then it will import all these small set of programs or set of files, Python files in the AWP portion, because in the AWP portion our Python base image is associated. And if you want to run this main.py file, if you want to create particular fs layers based on this image, and this main.py is also, then this is required. And cmd, what, because like if you want to see, just I write copy again, it will show what is. So here copy source and dest, that source main whatever the file you want to run, like whatever, then like this is a basic command. Okay, so I just plug into the charger, otherwise my desktop is off. So okay, so here you can see copy. So source to destination. What is the source? What is the interaction program? I tell you that I have to create a custom image. For that, I have to write a basic program for interaction, and the custom image is consist interaction code also. So this is the basic interaction code with your Mongo database. So after that, copy command is basically source to destination. So that is the source, and I want to add this in the Python this custom image. Okay, custom docker file. So just destination, what is here, dot slash app, because I working on a directory that is AWP. Okay, so all of you clear this point? cmd is command line में हमको क्या चलाना है, python's main.py, because I want to run this program also. So in the directory here, if you see, after writing this file, main.py file is the interaction code, and docker file हमारा क्या consist करेगा? डॉकर फाइल हमारा कंसिस्ट करेगा आपकी वो डायरेक्टरी जहां पे आपकी पहली लेयर जो होगी वो आपकी पाइथन अल्पाइन की होगी, सेकेंड लेयर आपकी मेन डॉट पीवाई की होगी, और आफ्टर रनिंग इफ यू वांट टू क्रिएट अ इमेज, देन इन दैट इमेज देयर आर each step, like skip this first step from fifth, seventh and ninth lines, sorry, third, fifth and seventh line, these all the we can say fs layers. So first layer is this, and after writing this code you can see docker build dot slash t python custom, the custom image is created. So here you can see cached because I previously created it also. So 1/4, that means that's the first layer, that the first layer is based on python base image, second layer is based on working directory, third layer is based on pymongo installation, and fourth layer is based on our program by default in which the interaction code is there in the main.py. So these are the four layers creating exporting to the image. After that, exporting layers, you can clearly see exporting layers. Okay, so writing image, after that the show value is created, and docker remain.io. So here clearly if you write docker images command, so here you can see python custom image is created. Okay, so till here if you have any doubt to create a what custom image, then tell me. Till here you understand how to create a custom image in the docker portion, because custom images are often used in the program, in the projects.
Right now, I don't have any doubt, but when I will try to practically implement this topic, then at that time when I fail, then I will ask.
So till here, if any of the explanation you required, then tell me, because I explain all the main.py file, docker file, and whatever the program is running here also, I explain each of the steps. Okay, so if you want, so here you can see python.custom. It is the 68.1 MB. Okay, so that is contain the 68.1 MB. So that is the custom image. Okay, that is based on the four layers. First layer size is what? First layer is size is 46.8 MB. Okay, you can clearly see Python is Alpine image, and I import with the from Python Alpine. Just it is the first. So that for that is the size for 46.8 MB. After that, for these all these three FS layers, it is required to some around what 68. So just 20 to like 19 to 20 MB. So that is required. Okay, 22 MB that is required for this. So till here you also understand like custom images based on a base image and some previous commands. Till here you have any doubt with explanation and all of the stuffs? Tell me. Guys, any of you have a doubt, or I move forward?
You can move forward, Rudansh. Don't have any doubt.
Okay, so just here I move the previous slides. Okay, so after step one, custom image is created, and run container based on a particular custom image that is created. आप इसमें क्या होंगे, दो स्टेप्स होंगे. पहला आपने कस्टम इमेज बना लिया, अब आपको कस्टम कंटेनर रन करना है. अब मैं आपको रन करके दिखाता हूँ कि अब डॉकर रन बेसिक कमांड क्या होता है कंटेनर रन करने का, /it एंड द इमेज जो आप लाइक डॉकर कंटेनर इज बेस्ड ऑन सम इमेज ना, तो आपको वो इमेज का नाम देना होगा जिस पे बेस आप कंटेनर बनाना चाहते हैं. सो जस्ट कस्टम. Okay, so here you can see must be in the lower case. So आप screen is visible to all of you, because my internet connection is lagging this time.
Your screen is visible, but your audio is having some lag.
Keshav, my commands are here. I just run the Docker images. Are you able to see?
Yes, we can see. Yes, I can see.
Okay, okay. So, so what? Python custom. So if you run this command, now you have to wait some time. So just I open the slide after that when this is open. So just move here. I explain all of the steps. What is Docker build command? Basically, it is the command to build custom images. This is the basic description of your Docker file. Like here, it is the example from अगर हमको ubuntu क्या बेस इमेज है ubuntu करा लिया, अब उस पे हमको क्या करना है कि कुछ पैकेजेस भी अपडेट करने हैं, फिर हमने वो करा लिए, फिर हमको रन कराना है इको वेलकम, वो रन करा लिया. सो बेसिकली ये क्या होगा, हमारी एक डॉकर फाइल होगी, एक कस्टम इमेज क्रिएट करेगा जो कि कंटेनर में रन कर सकता है. Okay, our target for this session is actually I think we can't reach this point because some of the constraint is also time constraint can limit us. So first of all, we require to install PyMongo. All of the steps I explained previously also. So this is the basic syntax written here. So what is pprint and all of the steps, Docker file. I explain what is Alpine. So live implementation is also here. So whatever I tell you with the help, explanation, or if you want to revise, then in my slides, all of the things is here. Like here, you can see 3FS layer applied on a base image Python and a custom image is created. These all of the stuffs. So after that, when we want to start a container, I think, okay. So here you can see, we can get an error to run the container. You all thinks that I just created an image and I want to run a container based on that image. Why this command is not executing? Because some of the containers is not present sometimes. Here, if I want to if I want to run this, I must require the Mongo container because the interaction possible at that point of time. So here, Docker run command similarly get the error. I just run. So trying to connect Python with creating container, just I run the command docker run /d name Mongo to Mongo. So error the conflict. Okay, so if this step till this step, okay, give me a second so that I.
Hello, Rudransh.
Guys, wait a minute.
Hey, 1 minute, I think 1 minute 40 seconds are left for this meeting.
Okay, so just I start a new meeting. You can join it because 2 or 3 slides are left. I just completed in first forward. So just give me a second. Just I want to remove this. So this time, if you run the same command like this, I think it. So here you can see Mongo latest. So this the request go from my Docker container, like from my Docker host to the Docker daemon. Docker daemon checks that Mongo image is not locally present on my desktop. It will import the Docker image that is Mongo from the Docker hub to my desktop. So that's why unable to find locally, that it will check from in my cache. The image is not present, then the process of downloading it will started. Till when this is installed, I just again try to run the my again try to run my container based on the custom image. Just I move in the slides. So if here container, I just importing the image, you can all see. If you write the Mongo, after the installing, I run all the commands, docker inspect Mongo. So here you can check like ports is there. So I tell you that MongoDB has a default port 27017. That is the default port number. So can anyone explain, present in my class, in my session, explain what is the sandbox in the field of full stack development? Actually, one of my teachers told
Please,
in one of sessions, what is
please
sandbox?
pardon. So, Raj, can you repeat what you said?
What is sandbox in the field of your full stack development? You can
I
clearly see that
don't know what is
sandbox.
sandbox. I heard.
What, Keshav?
I don't know exactly sandbox, but I remember sandbox. I think it's a company or related to any games, yeah, game manufacturer company.
I think
I don't know exactly.
I think
I don't know
Pranjal
exactly what is it.
Pranjal can correctly explain what is the concept of sandbox, because he also learned from the teacher who told in my class.
actually, what I think it is like a it is used
Yeah,
to
I have.
variables.
I am not sure, but the sandbox is kind of thing in which we can put the other elements to it,
Hmm.
such as like a container. I'm not sure about it.
Yes, yes, yes.
What I am saying that it is used to set any variables or something.
So sandbox is basically, like some of you correctly answers. Sandbox concept is that if you have a particular program and if you have a dependency or an interaction to others, like in a full stack development, sandbox concept is used for checking the dependencies. Okay, if you have insert your like effects of your project, just I like मैंने एक प्रोजेक्ट क्रिएट किया, उसको एक सैंडबॉक्स के अंदर रख दिया, वो उसको एकदम एक ऐसा इन्वायरमेंट प्रोवाइड कर दिया. Am I audible correctly? Because my internet is also unstable this time also. So correctly you can all listen my voice. Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay, okay. So sandbox concept is basically if you give a isolated manner, like if you want to check the behavior of your project, then the sandbox concept is used. Basically, the testing team, which is like if you run make a project, and or how many of you will have like some of them present in the testing team will check with the sandbox concept. Okay, so till here sandbox is also, I think like Keshav explained, that is correct, but I don't know about that sandbox concept. I know that it is used by testing team to test your basic project in an isolated way. So just if I again run, so here you can clearly see that ports is basically 27017. That is the default port present. So again we try to run the command till here. I just check whether the this is correctly okay. So the container is installed. Okay, just I write docker run /it image. What is the image? Python custom. In that image a program is associated that will use your this image Mongo. I think this time it will, so it will again take the 30 seconds. Just I move in the slides because the time constraint. So here you can see error is again coming. So this error again coming because the our like docker convert the Mongo, that is the host name of the server, into the IP address internally, but we have to go in the social, and after that we perform the some commands. So just write docker run /it python custom. Give me a second, we are in the end, so don't have a problem. So again a error is coming. आप मैंने उस इमेज को इंस्टॉल कर लिया है जो कि बाय डिफॉल्ट कस्टम इमेज यूज कर रही है, तब भी ये प्रोग्राम नहीं चल रहा है. That is the problem. So just resolving this, just I use docker run slash in the, I think detached mode में होगा वो. Okay, so run it. Okay, if detached mode में दूसरा होता है. So just write in the interactive mode Docker and slash IT, what? Python custom sh. So we are on the in the container, inside the container. Okay. So just here, if you write the ping Mongo. Okay, I think please not. Okay, so bad address Mongo. Ping basically, any of you make a project based on the database, then you clearly understand what is ping. Can anyone explain what is ping? P-I-N-G.
I, I think ping is used to directly, if I continuously want to send a request to our server, then at that time we use the ping command.
Nah, yeah, that's the I think I doesn't know about much, but I think ping basically gives the statement that you are correctly attached with your database. Okay, so this time I just move in here and just write the what is the if okay. I just missed the IP address of our container. If you are with me in the second session, second to third session, I just write that every container has a different IP address. So if I want to check the IP address of the container that is Mongo, just write the inspect Mongo. So here you can all see here. Port is 2707 and sandbox and all of the steps is here. So just if you want to, okay. So that is the IP address 17 point all of this. Just copied it here. Just we again run this in a social. Just I write what is the command used. Okay, ping and the IP address of this 170.
Rudraj,
Yes.
after you have executed the previous command, the JSON output which you have exactly right now on your screen, what is exactly that is the whole JSON file? What is exactly
Okay, this is basically
this?
give the configuration of what inside the image, like a deeper concept inside the
Okay, it is
image.
exactly the deeper inside what is there inside
Correct.
that your
Correct,
image.
correct. Basically, you see
So
that
cool.
this commands comes from the Docker daemon. You clearly understand the interaction is possible only the JSON format and the XML format. So here the XML JSON format is used, and the like backend server is what Docker daemon. Docker daemon send the request after I running the Docker inspect command. The request goes to the Docker daemon. Docker daemon sends the JSON, that is this file. All of you see what is clearly this. Are you understand, Keshav, what I'm trying to say? And the doubt is clear. Doubt clear? Yours.
Yes, Rudransh, yes, you can carry on.
So what is the IP address, guys? कहाँ था? कहाँ था यारी? 172. Okay, 172.17.0.2. Just enter it. So clearly you can see we here build a complete interaction to your Mongo database with your Python client. So that all the request, it shows that the interaction is basically attached and the interaction is possible. This time you see
Uh,
interaction, we
uh,
use the IP address 172.17.0.2. But in the next session of mine, I will explain how to connect. Like I just created a network. Okay. In the next session, I will explain how to create a network in Docker. I just created a network. Inside that network, I create the two containers and just I merge these two IP address in that network. Okay. So till here, if you have any doubt, till this command and I explained to all of you. Just I move in the next slide. So thank you to all. In my next session, I just cover
uh,
that connection, attaching containers to the custom bridge network with the help of network. Okay. So if you have any doubt, like if you want to, then
Rudransh,
yes, yes.
can you please show that terminal again where after where you have executed the ping and then IP address? And so I want to add one thing. as Rudransh has executed the ping command with some IP address. So here, with the help of ping command to that IP address, we are continuously sending the request, and we are getting some response again back from that. Rudransh has said, the backend of what I have said, the daemon of Rudransh. Can
Docker,
you please repeat what the term is?
Docker
Docker
daemon.
daemon. Yes. So from there, we are getting some response. Am I correct, Rudransh?
Yes, Keshav, can you elaborate? Like, I want to know all of that stuff. I am a Docker guy, so just what these all this shows the connection in a clearly way. Can you explain again?
I am just saying, and I also don't know much about this, but the thing that I know is like here you have used a ping and then you have assigned one IP address, 172.17.0.2. So with the help of ping command, you are continuously sending the request at the backend of your Docker. The term again I forget. What? Please repeat the term, Rudash.
Docker daemon
Docker
connect the
daemon.
response.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes. So
I
from where
complete
we
I complete the Keshav statement. Docker daemon clearly says that your both the containers which have an initial IP address of like Python custom and your Mongo is different, and that is the interact with both the containers are interacting with both of them. So just these requests shows that I have successfully created a connection between the database and client with the help of what? With the help of their host name, sorry, IP address. In the next session, I just create a random network on my Docker, and just here you can see just I pass IP address. So this time after the creating of network, you just write the Docker run it command with the Mongo. Like here the error is coming, the error is not coming at that case where we have I have to create a network. So in the next session, I created all of the things. So thank you, all of you. Have a nice day. If you have any doubt, I explained each of the concept in detail. Till this point, if you have any doubt, I tried my level best to explain. Actually, some of points I missed out sometimes, but if you ask, then I explain also that point. In the
No,
next session,
Rudransh,
I
we don't
cover.
have any. And your presentation was very nice for today. No, thank you, Rudransh.
Thank you to all of you. In the next session, I just cover attaching containers to the custom random network with the help of Mongo. You can't replace the IP addresses. So thank you all. Thank you. So just after me, I think Kushagra taking the session. So I take it over to Kushagra to continue from here.
Thank you, Rudransh.
Nice presentation, Kushal.
Thanks a lot. रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है क्या अभी?
Yes, recording is continue.
बंद कर. Recording start. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So till now, I was trying to cover up the topic of the Python basic syllabus. From today, I will try to cover Python as an project work. तो आज से क्या है, मेरा पाइथन का जितना भी है, तो पहले उससे हम कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ने वाले हैं. उस कॉन्सेप्ट बाद उस चीज का हम एक प्रोजेक्ट क्रिएट करेंगे. So like it is a Python bootcamp from basic to advanced level. So firstly, first thing I have to know that printing to the console in Python. अब मेरे को प्रिंट क्या कैसे क्या करना है पाइथन पे. तो सबसे पहले क्या है, मेरा इतना तो पता है मेरे को प्रिंट करना है हेलो वर्ल्ड. ये चीज तो मेरा बेसिक हो गया. मेरा पाइथन में मेरा जो भी वर्ड है वो प्रिंट करना होगा. अब मेरी दूसरी चीज आ रही है, यार मैंने प्रिंट तो कर दिया. अब मेरे को प्रिंट करना है, मल्टीपल वैल्यूज प्रिंट करना है. अब तक क्या था, मैंने प्रिंट करा हेलो वर्ड कर दिया, ठीक है. अब मैं चाहता हूँ कि तीन चार चीजें हैं मेरे पास, जैसे मेरा नेम है, मेरा एज है, और ओके, अब मैं तीन चार चीजें, जैसे मेरा नेम है, एज है, अब मैं चाहता हूँ कि मेरा नेम भी प्रिंट हो जाए और मेरा एज भी प्रिंट हो जाए विद द सेम प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट से। अब मेरे को क्या करना है, सिंपली मैं प्रिंट नंबर नेम यूज करूंगा। उसके बाद मेरा, जैसा कि मैंने स्टेटमेंट डाल दी नेम, अब मेरे को कॉमा लगा के उस चीज को सेपरेट करके वेरिएबल को कॉल कर लेना है। उसके बाद वेरिएबल कॉल करने के बाद मेरे फिर को स्टेटमेंट जो मेरे को कंसोल लाइन में लिखनी है, एज लिखा, बंद किया मैंने इन्वर्टेड कॉमा से, फिर मैंने उस वेरिएबल को कॉल कर दिया। तो फिर जब मैं लिखूंगा नेम एज अ सोर्स कंटेंट, एज एज अ 25, एंड आई वॉज ट्राइंग टू प्रिंट अबाउट माई नेम एंड एज, so just use the print name enclosed in an inverted comma। इन्वर्टेड कॉमा के enclose होने का मतलब ये है कि जब मेरा आउटपुट वाले कंसोल लाइन में खोलूँ तो मेरे को आउटपुट कंसोल में मेरा नेम लिखेगा, नेम, उसके बाद फिर जो मेरे को वेरिएबल डालना है। तो मेरा नेम वेरिएबल में स्टोर कर रहा हूँ, नेम के अंदर नेम वेरिएबल क्या डेटा स्टोर है, मेरा डेटा स्टोर है सोर्स कंटेंट। तो मेरा टर्मिनल में क्या दिखेगा, मेरा सिंपली दिखेगा नेम, उसके बाद मेरा सीधे दिख जाएगा सोर्स कंटेंट। अब मैंने क्या यूज किया, मैंने कॉमा यूज किया है, कॉमा इज द सेपरेटर, इसने सेपरेट कर दिया। अब फिर से मैंने कॉल किया है इन्वर्टेड कॉमा में एज, इन्वर्टेड कॉमा के अंदर इंक्लोज है, इसका मतलब कि ये है कि ये मेरा कंसोल लाइन में ये भी प्रिंट करेगा। तो एज भी मेरा फिर एज अ कंसोल लाइन में, कंसोल विंडो में प्रिंट किया एज। अब एज के बगल में मैंने कॉमा सेपरेटर यूज किया, उसके बाद मैंने क्या कर लिया, वेरिएबल को कॉल कर दिया। तो वेरिएबल को कॉल जब मैंने कर दिया तो उसके बाद फिर क्या शो कर जाएगा, मेरा एज इक्वल टू 25। सिंपली यहाँ से दिखाता हूँ मैं। क्या मेरा वीएस कोड दिख रहा है इस टाइम? नहीं। ओके, लेट्स सी। तो यार ये देखो, मेरा सबसे पहले क्या था कि मेरा एक सिंपली प्रिंट कमांड, तो प्रिंट हमें कोई भी चीज प्रिंट, जब सबसे पहले क्या, एक पहला कदम रखना है ये पाइथन प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में। तो हमने क्या किया, प्रिंट हेलो वर्ल्ड। अब ये मेरा सीधे कंसोल विंडो में क्या करा दिया है, कुछ और चीज। ओके, प्रिंट हेलो वर्ल्ड कुछ तो नहीं है, नहीं है कुछ। तो प्रिंट हेलो वर्ल्ड, तो यहाँ पे क्या प्रिंट करा दिया, देख सकते हैं आप, हेलो वर्ल्ड। अब क्या है, मैंने कहा था मैं मल्टीपल लाइंस में चाहता हूँ कि ये चीज प्रिंट हो जाए। उसके लिए मेरा क्या था, ये रहा, प्रिंट मल्टीपल वैल्यूज। इसको मैंने कमेंट आउट कर दिया। अब मैं इसको ये इसको पहले तो मैं यहाँ पे कमेंट में कर दें इसको। ओके, तो मेरा नेम एक वेरिएबल है, नेम के अंदर मैंने स्टोर करा दिया सोर्स कंटेंट। फिर एक मेरा एज वेरिएबल, अब एज के अंदर मैंने स्टोर करा दिया एक वेरिएबल जो मेरा क्या बता रहा है, कोई एक इंट डेटा टाइप जिसके अंदर डेट है, बेसिक एज है। तो अब मैंने एक प्रिंट यूज किया, प्रिंट के अंदर सबसे पहले क्या किया है मैंने, ये नेम। अब आपको मैं दिखाता हूँ यहाँ से। सिंपली अगर मैं इन्वर्टेड कॉमा के अंदर जो भी चीज मैं प्रिंट करूंगा तो वो मेरे को कैसे शो करेगी, सिंपली अ नेम। अब मैं चाह रहा हूँ नेम के बगल में मेरा नेम आ जाए, तो मेरे को सिंपली क्या करना है, आई हैव टू जस्ट कॉल माई वेरिएबल। मेरे को नेम चाहिए था सोर्स कंटेंट, सो आई जस्ट कॉल द नेम आफ्टर यूजिंग सेपरेटर। अब मेरा क्या आएगा, सोर्स कंटेंट। अब मेरे को चाहिए इसी के बगल में मेरा एज भी आ जाए, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, इसमें कॉमा। अब मैंने इस पे क्या किया, इन्वर्टेड कॉमा ऑन किया। अब इसके अंदर मैं जो भी चीज लिखूंगा इन्वर्टेड कॉमा के अंदर वो मेरा कंसोल लाइन में दिखेगा। देखते हैं, ये रहा, आ गया एज। अब मेरे को चाहिए एज के बगल में मेरा ये वैल्यू प्रिंट हो जाए। तो सिंपली आई विल कॉल द वेरिएबल एज, सोर्स कंटेंट एज 25। इसको कमेंट आउट कर देते हैं। बैक टू द प्रेजेंटेशन। Here in the next two time, I have written a formatted string f string. A formatted string f string is a function in a Python in which you can insert a variable directly into a string. क्या मतलब वो इसके, इसको हम देखते हैं फिर से VS कोड में। लाइक मैंने इस पे क्या किया, एक नेम लिख दिया, एक वेरिएबल हो गया मेरा, ये वेरिएबल v1। ठीक, वेरिएबल के अंदर मेरा स्टोर है, मेरा नेम स्टोर है। ठीक, वेरिएबल अंदर स्टोर हो गया मेरा नेम। फिर मैंने एक वेरिएबल बना दिया एज, एज के अंदर स्टोर है मेरी 25 जो कि। अब मेरे को क्या चाहिए, इन्वर्टेड कॉमा मैंने एक बार खोला, एक बार बंद करा। अब मैंने इन्वर्टेड कॉमा एक बार खोला और एक बार बंद करा, अब इन्वर्टेड कॉमा अगर मेरा खुल गया तो इसके अंदर तो मैं वेरिएबल प्रिंट करा ही नहीं सकता हूँ, क्योंकि इन्वर्टेड कॉमा के जो भी चीज लिखते हैं वो मेरी कंसोल विंडो में एज इट इज प्रिंट हो जाती है। तो इस बार क्या हो रहा है, मैंने इन्वर्टेड कॉमा तो ऑन कर दिया। अब इन्वर्टेड ऑन करने के बाद जो चीज मेरे को प्रिंट करानी है तो वो तो मैंने लिख लिया, ठीक है, मेरे को नेम प्रिंट कराना है। अब मेरे को अगर नेम मेरे को वेरिएबल प्रिंट कराना है, अब कैसे करेंगे? सिंपली बाय यूजिंग द एफ स्ट्रिंग फंक्शन। तो क्या करेंगे, सबसे पहले प्रिंट के बगल में मैं एफ यू लिखूंगा, एफ के बगल में मेरा इन्वर्टेड कॉमा ऑन होगा। ठीक, जो चीज मेरे को कंसोल विंडो में लिखनी है वो मैं लिख लूंगा। उसके बाद मेरे को सिंपली कर्ली ब्रेसेस ऑन होगा। अब कर्ली ब्रेसेस के अंदर मेरा क्या कॉल होगा, वेरिएबल कॉल होगा। तो ये मेरा क्या करता है, ये मेरा एज इट इज ये वेरिएबल के अंदर का जो डेटा स्टोर होता है वो मेरा प्रिंट करा देता है। सिंपली मैंने कॉमा सेपरेट कर दिया। अब कॉमा सेपरेट हो गया, यानी ये फंक्शन, ये जो प्रोसेस थी ये यहीं रुक गया। मैंने फिर से एज लिख दिया। अब ये क्या हो रहा है, अब ये लाइन मेरी कंसोल विंडो में एज अ यूजर मेरे को दिख रही है एज, एज है। इसके बाद फिर मैंने फिर से कर्ली ब्रेसेस ऑन किया। अब कर्ली ब्रेसेस ऑन किया, इसका मतलब मेरे को कोई वेरिएबल इंसर्ट कराना है, वेरिएबल का डेटा इंसर्ट कराना है। तो फिर से मैंने कर्ली ब्रेसेस ऑन करके उसके अंदर मैंने वेरिएबल कर दी। तो मेरे से आउटपुट क्या आ गया, ये सोर्स यानी कि मेरा नेम आ गया 25, ये आ गया मेरा एज। अब तीसरी चीज जो हमें जाननी है, प्रिंटिंग विदाउट न्यू लाइन। प्रिंटिंग विदाउट न्यू लाइन का क्या मतलब है? प्रिंटिंग विदाउट न्यू लाइन का मतलब मेरा ये है कि अगर पाइथन में क्या है मेरा, हम कोई भी चीज प्रिंट कराएं, अगर हम प्रिंट करा रहे हैं प्रिंट एक्स वाई जेड, और उसके बाद फिर से हम दोबारा प्रिंट यूज कर रहे हैं, अब प्रिंट के अंदर हम कुछ प्रिंट करा रहे हैं ए बी सी, तो पाइथन ऑटोमेटिकली चेंज द लाइन विद दिस टू स्ट्रिंग। वो एक्स वाई जेड प्रिंट कराएगा, फिर अपने आप लाइन चेंज करेगा, फिर ए बी सी कराएगा। चलिए देख लेते हैं, एक्स वाई जेड एंड देन ए बी सी। अब मेरे को चाहिए कि यार ये लाइन चेंज बार बार हो रही है। अब हम क्या चाहते हैं कि मेरी लाइन ना चेंज हो जाए, मैं ये एक्स वाई जेड और ए बी सी एक ही लाइन में है। चलिए एक्स वाई जेड के अंदर लिख लेते हैं हम, आई विल राइट एज हेलो वर्ड, हेलो वर्ड, ठीक है, हेलो वर्ड। तो अब मेरे को अगर एक ही लाइन में ये चीज प्रिंट करानी, तो मैं क्या यूज करूंगा, सिंपली जो मेरा पहला प्रिंट है उसके मैं कॉमा यानी सेपरेटर यूज किया। सेपरेटर यूज करने का मतलब क्या, जो मेरा पहला प्रोसेस चल रहा था वो वहीं रुक जाएगा। तो ये जो मेरा हेलो कंसोल विंडो में दिख रहा था, अब वो कॉमा से यहीं रुक गया। अब मेरे को क्या करना था, एक मैं एंड पैरामीटर यूज करूंगा। अब एंड पैरामीटर के बाद इक्वल टू इन्वर्टेड कॉमा ऑन, और एक बीच में स्पेस दे दूंगा। अब मेरा क्या होगा, हेलो। अब हेलो के बाद यानी कि मेरा क्या स्पेस खाली, यानी उस स्पेस में जो मेरी अगली चीज होगी वो इसके अंदर प्रिंट हो जाएगी। आई विल रन सी दैट, हेलो वर्ल्ड, हेलो वर्ल्ड, एंड दिस इज द फंक्शन ऑफ द एंड पैरामीटर। अब बैक टू माय प्रेजेंटेशन। तो प्रिंटिंग विदाउट न्यू लाइन भी होगी। अब मेरी चौथी चीज क्या है, अब क्या है, प्रिंटिंग एंड स्पेशल कैरेक्टर। तो स्पेशल कैरेक्टर यानी क्या है, वी आर यूजिंग एन एस्केप सीक्वेंस फॉर स्पेशल कैरेक्टर। ठीक, व्हाट आर द स्पेशल कैरेक्टर, अ न्यू लाइन और अ टैब टी, व्हाट, टैब कैरेक्टर। तो आगे बढ़ने से पहले सबसे पहले क्या हम चेक करेंगे, टैब कैरेक्टर मेरा क्या होता है। तो मैंने क्या होगा, टैब कैरेक्टर पहले देख लिया, टैब कैरेक्टर क्या मेरा रोल करता है। तो a tab character in Python is used to insert a horizontal tab space in a string. It is commonly used to align text or create table like structure. यानी कि हम कोई चीज प्रिंट करा रहे हैं और प्रिंट के अंदर हम वो चीज लिख रहे हैं। अब क्या है, टैब कैरेक्टर उस चीज को आपस में एक इक्वली स्पेस दे देता है। लाइक जैसे मैंने ये लिखा है, ले यहाँ यूज करते हैं, वेयर इज प्रिंटिंग डाउन न्यू लाइन, ये ये लाइन प्रिंट नेम, बीच में मैंने ये क्या यूज किया, ये यूज किया मैंने टैग, टैग है। उसके बाद फिर मैंने क्या लिखा, एज। अब इसका क्या आउटपुट आएगा, रुको, तो नीचे लिख देते हैं, ओके, प्रिंट नेम एज। तो सबसे पहले हम क्या कर रहे हैं, टी हटा देते हैं, ऐसा लिखा है नेम एज। अब मैंने, अब क्या आउटपुट आ रहा है मेरा, नेम एज बिल्कुल साथ में जुड़े हुए। अब मैंने एक बीच में एक स्पेस दे दिया, अब क्या आउटपुट आएगा, नेम डैश स्पेस। अब हम इसके नीचे कुछ और प्रिंट कराएं, अगर प्रिंट अब देखिए क्या आउटपुट आएगा। नेम इज कुशाग तिवारी, ये दो तो मेरा आ गया, बट हम क्या देख रहे हैं, नेम के नीचे और एज को एक अलाइनमेंट नहीं सही आ रही है। अगर मेरे को इस चीज को अलाइनमेंट टेबुलर फॉर्म में अगर लाना है, तो इसके लिए हम क्या यूज करेंगे, टैब फंक्शन। नेम, अब देखिए क्या होगा। नेम मेरा एक का तरह होगा, एज एज अ क्या कॉलम कर रहा है, कॉलम की तरह क्रिएट कर रहा है। तिवारी जे कट करता हूँ, 25, बल्कि से पहले मैं क्या यूज करूंगा, टैब कैरेक्टर। टैब करेक्टर, अब क्या होगा, मेरा नेम के नीचे मेरा क्या आ जाएगा, एग्जीक्यूटिव कुशागर आ जाएगा। एज के नीचे मेरा क्या आ जाएगा, 25, एस सिमिलर टू लाइक अ रो एंड कॉलम। नेम एंड एज, okay, alignment is not that much better. It will work. Got it. It behaves like a tabular structure. ये था मेरा टैब करेक्टर, लाइक देखिए, नेम, एज एंड कंट्री। देन इट विल प्रिंट एलिस T25, और फिर क्या लिखा मेरा, यूएसए। There is a row of name in which an Alice and Bob is stored, and there is a column age in which a 25 and 30 is stored, and there is a column country in which US and Canada is stored. So here you can see that in a output window, it is clearly look like as a tabular form. One column for a name, one column for a age, and one column for a country. If we write these print statement without using a text character, then it will unarrange, and you can't imagine it as a row and column structure. So this is the benefit of using tab character. Now come back to my previous slide where I am discussing about printing special character. Here we have discussed about the tab character, and there is no doubt about a new line. As the name suggests, it will just update the line to a new, like print line 1 escapes and line 2. Then it will print a separate line for those strings. एक लाइन 1, लाइन 2, बीच में मैंने क्या यूज कर लिया, एन यूज कर लिया, यानी एन क्या है, मेरा न्यू लाइन कैरेक्टर है। ठीक, उसके बाद फिर मेरा कैसे प्रिंट आ रहा है, पहले मेरा लाइन 1 आएगा, फिर क्या हो रही है, मेरी लाइन चेंज हो जाएगी, फिर लाइन 2 आ रहा। अब इसी मैंने यूज किया बॉब स्लैश टी स्केप टी, अब टी के हमने 30 कर दिया, स्लैश टी कैनेडा। अब क्या मेरे को दिखेगा, अब जब ये मैं प्रिंट कराऊंगा तो बॉब एक अच्छा खासा एक बीच में स्पेस होगा, फिर उसकी एज होगा, फिर एक अच्छा खासा एज होगा, वहां पे कनाडा होगा। टैब करेक्टर वी डिस्कस earlier. Okay, this is a printing practice in which you will can done when you will be free. So this is a basic exercise, coding exercise for a Python series, in which here you have to write a program that uses a print statement to print the following recipe. The text to print is already there. You just need to make it into a code. Here is the text given. You have to just click. You have to just convert it to a code. It is very simple. You just have to copy it and uses a print function before each of these sentences. So now back to another concept. Here we will learn about input function. You all know what is input function. Input function in a Python is when a user want to give its value something. When a user want to take the input, and I am allowing user to give me an input, then I will functionate my code. So you can take input from the user using the input function. This function reads a line from the console and return it as a string. So like name, I want to some name from the user, so name. Then we use the input function and simply we have print the line, enter your name. So how it will be look like? Copy. I just simply made a one variable name and I uses a input function. You all heard about input. What does input do? So input just take the value from the user, and then I separate it with inverted comma and write a sentence, enter your name. So I will just click on a run. So here you can see that enter your name. and there is an option to write something. So I will write my name is Kushal. When I input my name, I will just click the enter. And if I want, now I will print my name. I will print my name. So again, run, enter your name. I will just write my name, Kushal, and I will click enter. It will show my name, Kushal. This is the use of the in function. Uh, uh, you also can typecast the input function into the variable you want. Just like I want age equal to, I don't want any error from the user, so I just use input. I will write enter your age. Enter age. Okay, then I will print age. So here I want a user to enter his age, and I will print that age. Okay, so you all know age will be a variable in which it stored a numeric data type. Like I am 20-year-old, so my age is 20. It is an integer type value. If someone stores some different string character, it will not allowed in Python. If I want in numeric data, simply I just write age, input, enter your age. Then I click the run, enter your age. Okay. So I am unknown about something. You can say I'm illiterate person. So what I will write? I will write 20. I give my instruction to the program that my name is 20, but it is written in a string format. I don't want my age in a string. So I run and my user print my age as 20, but it is written in a string format. So I will just typecast this value by using int open bracket, then I will close the bracket. Okay. Then I will use interviews. Again, I will write a 20. What it will print? It will give an error. Okay. Because I have to write a value in the base 10. It is a numeric data type. I want my answer in a numeric digit. So enter your age. Now I understand what to do. So I just print my age at 21 and it will print my age. So back to presentation. Converting input to other data type. I just told you about how to convert input to data type. Since input always return a string, if you need a different data like an integer float, you must convert it to integer like age int input your age. Now we just will come to a project first. Can you all done this project side by side with me? Okay, we will do this project in the next meeting because the remaining meeting time is just a 3 minute. So Rudransh,
So, Kushagra, if you want to summarize till here what you explain in 3 minutes, after that we'll start a meeting and Pranjal should take in that. Summarize it.
no, no, it's the main topic is left yet. This is the main topic I want. That was the entire presentation is all about.
He is
So
saying that
on my presentation is just like
and rest of the content he will have to cover on the next meeting, which you will know.
on the next
Okay. I just
which
create.
which okay, which I want to done by you as well, side by side. Maybe I will go do the code as you all will come do that.
We tried.
It will be more beneficial for all as well. Okay.
Okay.
So till now, what I have understand how to print a statement by using just a print hello world. If I want to print a multiple value, I just use name, okay, age, and print. Okay, inverted comma name separated by comma, then again a variable, then again separated by comma. Okay, then again print statement age, then again calling a variable by just using calling its name. Okay, then what we have know about the formatter string, in which we can print anything in a just a one string as well. We doesn't have to use a multiple string. So then we have know about printing special character, where I taught you about the tab character and the new line character. Then I have told you about tab character, that it will print in a tabular format. Then I told you about input function, that where a user give the command to the programmer. Then I will discuss this project, band name generator. This is a very easy question because this is the first project in this series. Okay, so I will stop my sharing screen. Please come back again. So here is our first project in this series. In this series, we have to just print the band name generator. So first of all, you should know what is band name generator. In a band name generator, it is very simple. You just have to take input from the user to input his anything like his favorite color, pet name, or the name of city. Then what you have to do, you have just to combine those words and then create a band name. It's a very easy program. So what is a band name generator? Is a fun program or a tool that generates a creativity name for music band by combining random word or user input. It is often how it will work. It generator typically asks the user a few questions, okay, such as their favorite color, pet name, your city where you live. ठीक? So this is what we have to do. सबसे पहले क्या करना है, मेरे को एक यूजर से मेरे को एक इनपुट लेना है. ठीक, यूजर की विंडो में क्या शो करना चाहिए, ये शो करना कि व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ सिटी यू ग्रो, तुम कहाँ से बड़े हुए. तो ठीक, यूजर सिंपली क्या है, एक आंसर देगा लाइक कानपुर. देन अगेन what's your pet name, then user will give a command a sparky. तो क्या है, फिर मेरे यूजर के सामने उसका एक बैंड नेम लिख के आ जाए कि आपका बैंड नेम हो सकता है कानपुर और स्पार्की. ओके, तो ये क्या हो सकता है, सिंपली ये क्या हुआ, मेरा दोनों स्ट्रिंग को मैंने डिवाइड कर दिया है. अब इसको हम लोग बना कैसे सकते हैं, ओके यहीं पे देख लेते हैं. ओके, तो क्या है, सबसे पहले मेरे को क्या क्या हमने पढ़ा था प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट के बारे में पढ़ा था. फिर दूसरी चीज मैंने क्या पढ़ी थी, हम लोग ने पढ़ी थी आज इनपुट फंक्शन के बारे में. तो मेरे को सबसे पहला क्या स्टेप है, स्टेप वन है, सबसे पहले मेरे को प्रिंट कराना है कि मैं किस सिटी में रहता हूँ. ठीक, अब ये प्रिंट कैसे होगा, इसके लिए मेरे को यूजर यूजर कराएगा, तो इसके लिए क्या मैं यूज करूंगा, इनपुट फंक्शन यूज करूंगा. ठीक, तो पहला स्टेप मेरा कैसे होगा, प्रिंट, फिर मैं यूज करूंगा इनपुट फंक्शन. इनपुट क्यों, क्योंकि मेरे को यूजर से चाहिए कि वो कहाँ पे, वो यूजर से रिप्लाई चाहिए. तो मैं सिंपली लिख दूंगा व्हाट इज योर पेट नेम और सिटी नेम. ओके, देन यूजर विल गेट इट्स रिस्पॉन्स. देन इन सेकेंड अगेन वी विल यूज जस्ट प्रिंट फंक्शन when we will print another question. ठीक, like what is your pet name. Okay, then again user will give some response. Then we have to just print your generated band name. अब क्या, ये तो मैंने प्रिंट करा दिया है, तो मैं फिर से बताता हूँ. अब क्या है, मेरे को क्या सिंपली क्या कराना है, पहले में एक स्टेटमेंट पास कर लेंगे. क्या, योर जनरेटेड कोड इज डेटा डैश डेटा डैश. फिर मैंने इसको सेपरेटर्स डिवाइड कर दिया. अब मैं क्या पास करूंगा, अब मैं पास करूंगा पहला वेरिएबल. ओके, पहला वेरिएबल मैं पास कर दूंगा, पहले वेरिएबल में जो भी मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन होगा उसका जो रिस्पॉन्स आया होगा. ओके, वेर वन. फिर मैंने कॉमा सेपरेट कर दिया. फिर मैं एक अनदर स्टेटमेंट प्रिंट कराऊंगा. अब जब अनदर स्टेटमेंट हो जाएगी, फिर से मैं सेपरेटर यूज करूंगा. अब सेपरेटर यूज करने के बाद मैं फिर से वेरिएबल टू कॉल कर दूंगा. अब सिंपली इस सिर्फ इस तरीके से मेरा क्या हो जाएगा, मेरा जो आउटपुट जो मुझे चाहिए कि योर जनरेटेड बैंड इज डेटा डैश, वो मेरा प्रिंट हो जाएगा कंसोल विंडो में। इसका अब एक बार कोड देख लेते हैं। तो हियर इज द बैंड नेम जनरेटर। ओके, state by line, so I will just move this one. Okay, so in first variable I have created one variable city, in, in which I use the input function. Okay, so in input what we have used a print statement, what is the name of the city you grew up in, escape and okay, ये मैंने इसको अब इसका फिर मैं रन कर रहा हूँ, तो मेरा क्या आउटपुट आ रहा है, व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द सिटी यू ग्रू अप इन। अब मैं यहाँ पे क्या दे दूंगा, अपना आंसर कानपुर। बट मेरा प्रोग्राम यही खत्म होगा। अब दूसरी चीज मेरे को चाहिए, यहाँ पे हम अपनी सिटी प्रिंट करा देते हैं। यहाँ पे मैंने क्या करी, सिटी अपनी प्रिंट करा दी। अब क्या आउटपुट आएगा, व्हाट इज इसी को मैं कॉपी कर लेता हूँ, व्हाट इज द नेम कानपुर। अब ये चीज मेरा इसने प्रिंट करा दिया सिटी। अब मेरे को दूसरा क्वेश्चन और था, जैसे स्लाइड में था, मेरे को जनरेटर क्या क्या था दूसरा, एक तो हो गया मेरा व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द सिटी यू ग्रू अप इन। आई हैव टू अनदर क्वेश्चन, व्हाट्स योर पेट नेम। So how we will do this by using a Python? So I simply create one variable pet in which I use the input function. Then in bracket, in use the in inverted comma, I use the print function. What's your pet name? Escape and so then it will print what's the name of the city you grew up in, Kanpur. What's your pet name? I will simply like Sparky. Okay. इतना तो मेरा हो गया यहाँ तक। अब मेरा क्या क्या था, मेरे को लास्ट स्टेप चाहिए था। क्या लास्ट स्टेप मेरा क्या था, लास्ट स्टेप मेरा था, अब मेरे को जो मैंने ये दो इनपुट दिया है यहाँ पे, ठीक है, ये जो मैंने दो आंसर दिए, कानपुर दिया, अब मैंने क्या किया, स्पार्की दिया। अब मेरे को चाहिए कि ये पूरा मिक्स होके मेरे को मैं जनरेटेड बैंड का नेम मिल जाए। तो मैं कैसे यू लिखूंगा, ओके, प्रिंट फंक्शन। अब ये क्या होगा, आउटपुट विंडो में जो शो करेगा, योर बैंड नेम कुड बी, देन आई यूज द प्लस। अब प्लस इज यूज टू ऐड अ स्ट्रिंग। ओके, ठीक, अब मैंने ये एक एम्प्टी स्ट्रिंग पास कर दी। अब ये मैंने क्यों पास कर दी कि थोड़ा सा अगर मान लो मैं ये नहीं करता हूँ, ओके, इट विल करेक्ट, बट क्या होगा, जो मेरा आउटपुट होगा विंडो में शो करेगा, तो वो बहुत ही अनअरेंज्ड होगा और देखने में अच्छा नहीं लगेगा। ओके, व्हाट्स योर पेट नेम, आई यू पार्टी। ओके, योर बैंड नेम कुड बी सी बी कानपुर। ये बी कानपुर आपस में कॉन्केट हो गए। इस चीज को रिमूव करने के लिए मैंने क्या पास कर दी, बीच में एक एम्प्टी स्ट्रिंग पास कर दी एक स्पेस के साथ। ओके, अगेन आई यूज अनदर प्लस। ओके, आई आई कॉल अ वेरिएबल सिटी। सिटी मेरा क्या स्टोर था, जो मेरा कानपुर, कानपुर मेरा किस पे स्टोर हुआ था, सिटी पे स्टोर हुआ था। फिर मैंने प्लस करा, फिर मैंने एक एम्प्टी स्ट्रिंग दे दी जिसपे थोड़ा गैप दे दिया थोड़ा सा, जिससे मेरे जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं वो एक प्रॉपर सीक्वेंस में रहे। अगेन आई यूज द प्लस। अब मैंने क्या किया, प्लस के बाद मैंने कॉल कर लिया पेट को। पेट पे क्या आउटपुट आया था, मेरा पेट पे आउटपुट आया था स्पार्की। सिंपली दिस इज माई कोड बैंड नेम जनरेटर, आई विल यूज दिस रन। व्हाट्स द नेम ऑफ द सिटी, कानपुर। व्हाट्स योर पेट नेम, ओके, स्पार्की। And this, your band name would be up Kanpur Sparky. So thank you guys. I'm done for the today. Here is the written code, city, print, pet. So thank you so much. I have done with my slide.
Okay, Kushagra, if anybody wants to ask anything from Kushag, then he or she can ask. Or next, if anybody don't wants to ask anything, then after Kushag, Pranjal, you can start up with the presentation.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
If there is any question,
No, we don't have any question. Anyone else want to ask anything? Abhishek? Okay, now Pranjal, you can start.
So, yeah, my screen is visible and I'm audible.
Yes,
Hello.
your screen is visible and you are audible too. You can carry on.
Yeah, thank you. So, good evening, guys. Welcome again. My name is Pranjal, and we are here to discuss about the HTML and CSS series. So, this is the third lecture of our series. So, first of all, I will discuss whatever the things we have covered till now. In the last lecture, we have covered about the HTML elements and the HTML attributes. The HTML elements, such like the P tag, A tag, ING tag, BR tag, HR tag, anything which is in the tags are said to be an HTML element. And the attribute simply means the what are the properties that you are assigning in a particular tag. Means that the anchor tag you are referring about the HR here. In the alt tag you are also using, such as loading. I have showed in my previous code. Now, we also discussed about the HTML list. We have two types of list, the ordered list, the unordered list. The unordered list will come some type of shape, the square, the square, oval, the disk type, and the ordered list come with the some type of the ordered elements such as the 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, and many more things. And we also discussed about the what is the nested list. The nested list can be something like the ordered list within an unordered list or an unordered list inside an ordered list. Okay, so after the list, we have discussed about the HTML tables. In the table, I have tell you about the table tag, PR tag, TD tag, TH tag, and the row span, for span, and many other things. Now, we have also discussed about the HTML form. In the form, we have discussed about the label, the input tag. There are the various type of the input tag for the forms, like the text, the email, the submit type, the radio buttons, the check boxes, and the many other things. We also discussed about the name attribute that we are using within our input tag equal to radio, in which if we want to select only one particular button, such as the male, such as in the gender, male, female, and the gender, other gender. So we are giving the particular attribute name, the value should be single. So after that, we also discussed about the document object model. I have tell you about the document object model tree, how it is made. This type of the structure are generally seen when we are making our document object tree. And this is the pictorial representation how our document object model tree seems. The first of all, the head is the document. Within the head, we have the HTML, and after the HTML, it has the two child, the head tag, the body tag. Within the head tag, the title and metadata, and other things that we are required for our HTML page. And within the sibling of the head, the body, in the body, whatever tag you are using, the inside tag, such as the table. Within the table, we are using the TR tag. Within the TR tag, we are using the TD tag. And within the TD tag, if you want to take the input from the user, we are using the input tag. Then the document object tree for the table will be become the document, then HTML, then body, then table, then TR, then TD, and then analysis need. So we had discussed about how we will be accessing the document object model tree. The document object model, the DOM will be accessing with the help of these attributes, get element by ID, get element by class name, and the query selector. These all things are the part of the JavaScript we will be covering in our future lectures. What does the mean of the DOM manipulation? The word manipulation means that you are changing something. If you are changing any attribute, any tag on the runtime. Suppose you are adding a paragraph on the runtime or adding a button on the runtime. That will be set as the DOM manipulation, or same thing applies when we are removing it also. So guys, if you have any doubt in the previous lecture, so please ask. So otherwise we can move towards the further lecture. Any doubt?
No, wait. No, Pranjal.
Okay. So, so what are the things that we are discussing today? Today we will be discussing about some advanced HTML tags that we will be using in our daily life, such as div tag, span tag, mark tag, ABBR tag, adjust tag, code tag, assembly tag, KBD tag, subscript, and superscript tag. First of all, we will be discussing about it. So I am opening my VS Code. My VS Code is visible. Hello.
Yes, Pranjal,
My
your
screen is
screen is
visible.
visible. Yes, it's visible. Yes,
Okay.
visible.
Yeah, thank you. So I have write something. So first of all, we will be discussing about the mark tag. What does the mark tag mean? The mark tag simply means that you are highlighting a uh, particular element. The particular element means the particular content you want to highlight. Suppose I want to highlight here Kanpur. So within the mark tag, I am using the mark tag. Within the mark tag, I have written the Kanpur. So in the output, you have seen the Kanpur in the yellow colored background. What if I want to add something like a dot 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 type of thing? And when you hover over this, and then you see that the hypertext markup language, what does it seem to? It seems like the abbreviation. The abbreviation of the HTML is the hypertext markup language. So why don't we use the ABBI tag? The ABBI tag contains the attribute named as title, means what the value you want to show when someone hover over this tag. Okay, so I have write the ABBI tag, and within the ABBI tag, I have used the title, which is the attribute of ABBI tag. And after that, within the title, I have write the hypertext markup language. And within the ABBI tag, I have write the HTML. HTML means I want to show that ABBI tag shows the HTML as the abbreviation of hypertext markup language. What if I want to use another ABBI tag? So I will be using this. Like here, I decide in A B ABBI tag. After that ABBI tag, I am using the console in this title. What will be the title of this? The, the city in India. So if I save this, I come to here, and when I am putting my cursor over this, this is showing the city in India. That means uh, that's mean if you want to show something detail within a particular line or the word, what did abbreviate means? What the abbreviation we use for this? Suppose uh, you want to put your name such as anything ABC, and when and within the ABBI tag, the title you write like your name, your age, your date of birth, and any other thing that it will be showing like this. After that, if we want to show the address are something like the contact us and the email you are giving it. So HTML provide us the tag named as address tag. Within the address tag, anything you write, it will be highlighting. It will be seems like highlighting any other thing. Yeah, you can see it there. If I change this ABC, it live changes. If I want to add some any other things there, I will in Kanpur. Then it shows here. That's like this. Now, you all have done the coding in some of the languages. The font of the code is something different. Then then the HTML provide us the code tag. Within the code tag, anything that you wrote will be seen just like the coding languages, such as scanner. If I write scanner here, then it will be showing like this. The font of that particular thing will be change, and it will be more closer to such like the programming languages. After that, yeah. If in the programming, if you want to show something to the user that you have created, then what if then you will be using such as the SAMP tag. The SAMP tag, the font size is different, the font style is different, and this tag is basically used to show particular output of the any program. What if you want to use the you want to show the steps to someone such as the click on enter, after that double click, then select a particular day or write something else, then we will be using KBD tag. Then within the KBD tag, whatever you write, the font of that changes and it will be same as the Roboto font that we will be using in our system. After that, the thing comes in a place such as the subscript and superscript. The main advantage of this tag, let us discuss. What if I write the paragraph tag and I want to write the formula of water, that is H2O. So you can see you can see here the everything come in the same line. And what if I write the two in the subscript? The subscript means the something below the level. SUV. I write, yeah, one minute. SUV tag, and after the SUV tag, I write two. So you can see here what does it show? It shows that the two shifted its position from little bit downward, and it will be showing a very good result. What if there is something E is equal to MC square, the formula that we are using in the physics, then the square thing is the superscript of this. Then we also have something like this. If you write this, or you will be try to write this, then it will be showing like this. You can see here. Then it is not seeing very good to us. Then we will be using subscripting. Just write SUP and write 2 here. Yeah, you can see here that P is equal to MC square. The 2 comes upper side like thing. Now, I'm going to discuss about you like the span tag and the div tag. What does the simply difference between the span tag and div tag? The div tag simply means to give this is the abbreviation for the division. The division means to cut that something and give the new branching for that. The new branching means the new block of thing. The new block of thing means if I writing a line such as this, P tag, lorem 12, and after that, here I added a div tag. Div tag I write hello. So you can see here this line continues till this, and after that, when I write hello here, it takes the new line. And again, after the div tag, again the next content, the remaining content will be continued from the next line. So what if I want to use a particular tag or the particular element that's within a line? So why don't you we use the span tag? Same thing I'm writing here, lorem 5. So after that, lorem 5, I use the span tag. The span tag, I write hello. Yeah, you can see here this inbuilt itself within this line. The use of the div tag and the span tag, we generally do not seem very good in such like of example, like the putting it into the paragraph or the putting it in the H1 and H2. We will be seeing the such many good examples in our future lectures. Yeah. Now the HTML tags are finished. I can say that the HTML part is finished. The basic of the HTML is finished. Now I will be starting the styling part. What does the styling part mean? Suppose you want to give this color. Suppose you want to give the color to this particular paragraph as red color. I write here style. The color is red. Yeah, you can see here this particular set of thing comes into the color red. And after that, what if I want to give this span also the style? The style I give color column blue. So you can see here its color also changes. What if I want to give the change the background of this? I give the background color as yellow. Yeah. You can see here that this particular p tag that takes the background of yellow and the color of the p tag is red, and within the p tag where we have used the span tag takes the color as the blue and its background will be will be white. So you can see it here. It is visible. Yeah, you can see it here like this. So this particular sort of thing is said as the style of a particular element. So let us start with the CSS. What does the CSS mean? The CSS is the abbreviation for the cascading style sheet. Now we will be discussing what does the word cascading mean. The word cascading means the layered approach. The layered approach means in the CSS we have three types of the CSS properties that we are trying to apply on a particular web page. The first CSS property, the inline, the internal, and the external. And one more thing, we are using the CDN links. The CDN links refers to the something the you are using the inbuilt CSS of a particular element, and you are importing with importing this and using it at your web page. The internal CSS, the internal CSS means the CSS that I write within the line. The this is the inline CSS. Sorry, this is inline CSS, and the internal CSS that we write within this tag and the external CSS I used to link a particular style sheet or the .css file that we made and write the CSS of that particular thing. Now the question comes that what does the cascading mean that we are coming here? The cascading means the layered approach. The layered approach means the thing which is very closer to that particular tag will be applicable to it. Means the very means suppose we have the p tag and we are applying the inline CSS to it and the internal CSS to it, the external CSS to it. The inline CSS will be applicable to it, and the external CSS things that we are using it here will be overwritten by the inline CSS. That doesn't mean the CSS of the inline CSS will be not internal CSS will be not applicable. Internal CSS will be applicable, but the properties that we are giving here. Suppose we are giving here color. If I again give here color like this, p tag color colon blue.
Yes,
You can see here it is not visible.
yes, is
But
correct.
what if I remove it here? Hello?
Yes, Pranjal.
Yeah, anything? Any doubt?
No, no, no. Continue.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So you can see it here that if I remove the particular sort of thing, such as the color here, the color of that particular p tag that we are using it here will be applicable like this. And here, what if I write it again? The color, yeah, sorry, yeah, yeah, color column, red. So again, you can see it here. So again, you can see here the color changes to red. That means color property is overwritten here. What if I don't write a background color here? I remove it. Yeah. I remove it from here and try to define within the upper side. So this property doesn't work here. I have tried. Yeah. You can see it if applied on every paragraph text. So why it is happening? Because we haven't applied any ID or any class to this particular tag. If I write the ID is equal to P1 and I am trying to access with the help of hash as P1. I will be telling you each and everything. So please see it and try to understand it. So I have applied a particular ID. This is a type of the selector that we are trying to select or we are something highlighting it. So you can see it here. This simply means cascading style sheet means the anything that any that the styling that we will be performing will be over will be following the layered approach. The thing which will be very closer to the particular tag will be applicable, right? The inline CSS will be applicable. Uh, if there is no inline CSS, the internal CSS will be applicable. If there will be no internal CSS, the external CSS will be applicable. If there will be no no external CSS, the serial links will be applicable here. So, what are the various ways to apply the CSS to the particular property? We have seen it here. Yeah, we will be again discussing it. So, I am erasing all this issue that I have written here. I am again removing this sort of thing. So, I am writing here the H1 tag, the stylish, the style. This comes like this. If I want to give the styling to it here, the first of all, we will be writing the inline CSS. The inline CSS is styled with the style. We write styling, and whatever styling we want to give it here, we will be giving it. Suppose we are giving the color as red, it will be giving the particular color. The font family that we want, if I select this, the font family will be changed. What if I will be writing the height of particular tag, I write the 20 px, the height will be changing, and the many other things that you want to do it here, it will be applicable to. Okay. So what does the mean of the internal CSS? You can see it here that if I have applied only two property, the color and the font family, it takes the very lot of content it here. So it makes very hodgepodge thing. So you cannot understand your code easily. If you understand your code, if you give your code to any other else, then it will be very difficult to him to understand this. So the concept of the internal CSS is internal CSS key. I selected the particular tag H1. So you will be seeing I will be applying the same property that I have applied here, and you will see that how efficiently I will be writing the very clean code. I am selecting the color property. You click enter, it will give the red color. Okay. The height I want 50 px. The height I want 20 pixel. It will be giving a font family that we will be getting. The font family, I'm selecting this. It will be giving a particular font family. And any other thing that you want to add it here, you can add it here. So you can see it is the line by line property when you are selecting a particular tag. This is the H1 tag. What if I write a multiple H1 tag here? And I am writing the same stuff here. So if we want to select a particular tag within that H1 tag, we will be using the CSS selectors. There are two types of CSS selector: class selector, the ID selector. The class selector denotes the particular class thing. The class thing means, suppose in your website you have 10 HTML tags. Within the 10 HTML within the 10 H1 tags, the and some having the class of class 1 and some have class of class 2. I am showing it here. Class 1 and here class 2. So if I want to select the class 1 H1 tag, I will be just writing dot class 1, and after that the color of this particular thing will be changed. So you can see it here. And again, I want to select the class 2. The class 2, what it here? The font family. I will be changing to this. Font family changes. So the the conclusion to this would be come in the end that we know the class. The class takes the bunch of the things within this. The class 1, class 2, class 3, and class 4. Anything which will be containing the class 1 property. Class as the class 1, the class 1 styles will be applicable here, and the class 2 for the class 2 things will be applicable here. Now the question arises, if I want to select a particular thing from a particular class or the particular set of elements, so what are the things that I will be using? So you will be using yes, the ID. The ID is always unique for everyone. I will be using ID1. You can see it here. H1 property is always applicable here. So there is one more concept arises here, that if we have a class, if we have a particular element name, and if we have the ID, what property of the CSS will be applicable to it? The CSS will be applicable to it, such as we are coming towards the specialization. We have we have the sort of the group of people. Within that group of people, we have males and females. Within that males and females, we are we are particularly aiming towards the man whose name is Ram. So the property will be applicable for the which we are applying over it, the Ram. We are selecting a particular ID with the help of the hash and the class with the help of the dot. ID 1, and here I am giving the color as blue. You can see a blue white. You can see it here. The ID property applicable here. If there is no ID property, the class will be applicable here. If there will be no class, then actual tag will be applicable here. So this is all about the H1 property, the inline tag, the background color, and anything else. All the property we will be discussing when we will be making the project. Now, we will be discussing about the CSS box modeling. What does the CSS box modeling mean? The box modeling means the what are the things that will be showing around any particular element. Hello,
Yes, decent
hello
representation,
guys.
Ranjan. What must.
Yeah. So can I stop this meeting?
Yes, I like cancel meeting. You can join again the same with the same link.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So can I continue?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the CSS box modeling means containing the something that how we can apply some by spacing kind of effect to it. The spacing kind of effect means within the paragraph, if you have write something, and after the paragraph tag is within the div tag, and div tag is within the body tag, then how the position of the particular tag we will be defining. So I'm going to do it like this here, like the body, the div tag. I'm going here, and within the div tag, I'm again writing a particular div tag, and within this, I'm writing a paragraph that is hello, and I am giving a particular ID to it. ID div1, ID div2, and then ID p1. So here I am selecting this the ID of div1, div1, giving a particular height to it, height 10 px, width 10 px, background color of gray. Yeah, this is very small, so I am using this. And after that, again I am selecting a same div tag that we have used it here, the div2 tag, the div2 tag, the height of this particular div2 tag, and the color for this will be red. And the paragraph tag, the p1, the background color to this will be 10 px. Sorry, 10 px. I'm giving the background color, the green. So, what does the padding means? The padding means the the internal the internal area that we want to increase. I are padding 10 px. So you can see it here, the text, the padding is applied between the text and the border of the particular element. तो अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे बात करते तो पैडिंग का मतलब क्या होता है? पैडिंग का मतलब अगर हम लोग सिंपली देखें तो वो एलिमेंट के अंदर जो भी हम लोग लिख रहे हैं और जो वो पर्टिकुलर एलिमेंट है उसके बीच में अगर हम लोग कोई चीज स्पेस देना चाहते हैं तो हम लोग यहाँ पे पैडिंग का यूज कर सकते हैं। तो जैसा कि हम लोग यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं कि पैराग्राफ टैग के अंदर हम लोगों ने क्या लिखा हुआ, पैराग्राफ टैग के अंदर हम लोगों ने लिखा हुआ हेलो, और हेलो और पर्टिकुलर पैराग्राफ टैग के बीच में अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे स्पेसिंग देना चाह रहे हैं, हम लोग यहाँ पे पैडिंग लिख, तो अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे मार्जिन लिखते हैं तो क्या होगा? अगर मैंने यहाँ पे सपोज मार्जिन लिख दिया, तो देखते हैं यार मार्जिन लिखने से क्या करा इसने। जैसे ही मैंने मार्जिन लिखा तो इसने एक काम ये कर दिया कि भाई आपके जो बड़ा वाला जो इसके जो पेरेंट है, इसका पेरेंट क्या है, डिव2। डिव2 जिसका कलर रेड है, उससे इसको थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट करा लिया, कितना, 10 पिक्सल। क्योंकि देखो इसने बाहर की मार्जिन दे दिया। मार्जिन का मतलब क्या होता है, आउटर एनवायरमेंट। पैडिंग का मतलब क्या होता है, इनर एनवायरमेंट। ऐसे ही अगर हम लोग सेम चीज यहाँ पे करें, पैडिंग अगर हम लोग 10 px दें, इसका शॉर्टकट क्या है, M10। जैसे आपने M10 लिख दिया तो मार्जिन 10 पिक्सल हो गया, और तो ये चीज हम लोग देखते हैं। तो इसने ये क्या कर लिया, इसको इससे दूर कर लिया थोड़ा सा, इसको इससे दूर कर लिया, है ना। तो अगर हम लोग इसकी हाइट थोड़ी सी छोटी करके देखते तो ये हम लोगों को बहुत आसानी से समझ में आएगा। 50 पिक्सल, तो ये देखिए। तो इसकी हम लोगों ने पैडिंग क्या दी थी, इसकी हम लोगों ने 10 px पैडिंग दी थी डिव2 की, जिसका कलर रेड है। पैडिंग का मतलब क्या होता है, अंदर का काम। अंदर का काम देखो, इसने पैराग्राफ के साथ में क्या दे दिया, पैडिंग दे दी, और बाहर वाले के साथ में इसने क्या ले लिया, मार्जिन ले लिया। अब सेम चीज अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे इसमें अप्लाई करके देखें, तो पीटन अगर जैसे ही मैंने दिया और नीचे एमटन जैसे ही मैंने दे दिया, तो ये देखो, अब मेरे को यहाँ पे ये पर्टिकुलर चीज लिखने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। तो देखो, इसका पैडिंग का मतलब क्या था, यहाँ पे पैडिंग का मतलब ये था कि इसके अंदर का जो चाइल्ड है उससे इसको 10 सेंटीमीटर या 10 पिक्सल दूर हो जाना। तो ये देखो, ये 10 पिक्सल दूर हो गया। और मार्जिन का मतलब क्या, बॉडी से दूर हो जाना। तो ये देखो, ये बॉडी से भी पर्टिकुलर चीज में दूर हो गया। अगर मैं इसको यहाँ पे कमेंट आउट कर देता हूँ तो ये देखो, ये शिफ्ट हो गया। और जैसे मैं कमेंट हटा देता हूँ तो ये फिर से राइट हैंड साइड शिफ्ट हो जा रहा है। तो यही हम लोगों का मेन डिफरेंस होता है पैडिंग मार्जिन के बीच में। तो यही हम लोगों का आता है बॉक्स स्टाइलिंग के अंदर। तो ये लो, ये
प्रांजल,
पर्टिकुलर लोगों का बहुत। हेलो, यस।
प्रांजल, आई वांट टू आस्क वन थिंग। जो मार्जिन होता है, तो जब हम मार्जिन अप्लाई करते हैं तो वो पेरेंट कंटेनर के रेफरेंस से मतलब अंदर की तरफ वो होता है कन्वर्ज की बॉडी के रेफरेंस से कन्वर्ज होता है।
पेरेंट, अपने पर्टिकुलर पेरेंट के, जो इसका पेरेंट होता है, पेरेंट के रिस्पेक्ट में कन्वर्ट होता है।
जो इमीडिएट पेरेंट है, मतलब इमीडिएट
हाँ,
पेरेंट होता है।
इमीडिएट पेरेंट की आप कह सकते हैं। अगर उसकी कोई इमीडिएट, जैसे अगर हम यहाँ पे जब वन का मैंने यहाँ पे जी, जब वन के ऊपर पेरेंट का बॉडी है ना, तो उसने बॉडी के रिस्पेक्ट में ले लिया था। और अगर हम लोग पैडिंग बात करें तो इमीडिएट उसका जो क्या हुआ, जो चाइल्ड हो गया, इमीडिएट चाइल्ड होता है पैडिंग के लिए, और इमीडिएट एंसिस्टर होता है उसके लिए मार्जिन में।
ओके प्रांजल, ओके, माय डाउट इज क्लियर, यू कैन कैरी ऑन।
या थैंक यू। तो हम लोगों को यहाँ पे बॉक्स मॉडलिंग कंप्लीट होता है। नाउ वी कम हियर अबाउट द सीएसएस पोजीशनिंग। तो अगर हम लोग सीएसएस पोजीशनिंग की बात करें तो पोजीशंस में हम लोगों को तो बहुत सारी तरह की पोजीशंस होती हैं, जैसे स्टैटिक हो गई, रिलेटिव हो गई, एब्सोल्यूट, फिक्स्ड एंड स्टिकी। So if we talk about the static positioning, the static positioning is the by default positioning that the system gives us. सिस्टम अपने को जो भी पोजीशन करके दे रहा होता है, तो वही हम लोगों की क्या होती है, स्टैटिक पोजीशनिंग होती है। उसमें हम लोग कोई भी अभी छेड़छाड़ करना चाहे तो कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि वो बाय डिफॉल्ट होती है। तो अगर हम लोग रिलेटिव पोजीशनिंग की बात कर रहे होते हैं, तो रिलेटिव पोजीशनिंग का मतलब क्या हो रहा होता है, पोजीशन ऑफ द रिलेटिव पोजीशन का मतलब ये है कि वो पर्टिकुलर अपने जो, एक सेकेंड, हम लोग एब्सोल्यूट के बारे में बात करते हैं। हाँ, एब्सोल्यूट पोजीशनिंग क्या हो रही होती है। एब्सोल्यूट पोजीशनिंग का मतलब ये होता है कि वो पर्टिकुलर पोजीशनिंग अपने पेरेंट के एंसेस्टर से ले रहा होता है। पेरेंट एंसेस्टर से ले रहा होता है, जैसे कि हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे मार्जिन और पैडिंग के विषय में बात करी थी। उसका पैडिंग में क्या कर रहा होता था, चाइल्ड का ले रहा होता था। और मार्जिन में क्या करता था, मार्जिन में वो हम लोगों का एंसेस्टर से ले पोजीशन डिफाइन कर रहा होता है, रिलेटिवली हो रहा होता है। सेम we are seeing here in the absolute, and we have also the same kind of thing, just the fixed positioning means it will be stick toward the particular position. If we have the stick the particular block, it will be sticking here and it will not move. And the name suggests, and there is one more type of the positioning we have, the sticky. The sticky positioning means it will be fixed towards this, and if the any other thing changes in the web page, it will be changes. So in the next class, we will be discussing about this positioning in the detail, and we will be doing the code examples as well. So that is all from my side for today. Hello? Hello?
Yes,
ओके।
Pranjal. If anyone asks to any doubt from Pranjal, then he can ask. Otherwise, Vedant, you can continue.
No doubt.
Yeah, thank you.
Vedant, are you ready to
And
continue from
now,
here?
Vedant, you can continue.
So please ensure me that my screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. In the last couple of sessions, we have talked about Node.js. As we are ensuring that we are continuing with this topic since last 3 weeks or 3 weeks. So today we have already covered about installations, and we have discussed about the basic introductory part. Today we are gonna discuss about the packages that has the we will be revising packages as I told you in the last session that we as in the last session I was discussing about packages. Now we are moving to switching from packages to modules. So let's give me a recap about packages, that what we had studied about packages. So basically, creating a file so basically we started from creating a folder, and inside a folder we created one file that is name.js. Then in that particular folder, I've installed some packages of JSO and JavaScript object notations. As you can see over there, that those curly brackets has been shown to you as that has been shown as packages. So I've also told you the way, instructed you the way how to install the packages. Installing packages is essential, otherwise you will be getting some unnecessary errors and it will take your time. So if you have any doubt in asking that how to install packages or what kind of command we use for packages in terminal, although I've explained you, but then also you're free to ask always. I'm ready to explain you. And you can even as we are recording this session, so you can even comment down at YouTube, and there also you can ask us. And right now also you can ask us if you are attending up a session. Okay. So after installing the packages, we have created one file as name.js, and inside that file at name.js, we have ensured that there is one under scripts. I told you about that how to run a certain command in node.js. Okay. For example, running we cannot move, like we cannot run any special any command. For example, everyone knows about npm. So I in the last session I told you about npm, what how npm works. So for example, if I'm using npm as my command, so I'm using npm and the name of my command. For example, npm, I'm using the particular start. Npm start is basically it's a standard notation. While I'm using this notation inside my terminal, and please ensure that you if you're either you are running with me or you are practicing side by side from anywhere else. So ensure that you have to work on terminals rather than using a. Sometimes it happens, people get confused between JavaScripts and Node.js. They use you can say the run button over here, as you can see. So that is particular for JavaScript, because we are studying about Node.js, so you have to move according to Node.js. So you please ensure to open your integrated terminal, not a terminal, integrated terminal. That is, and while opening those that can be opened by control and control plus, and you can have your terminal around you. So terminal plays a very crucial role. Actually, you have to not in terminal it has been indicated that you have to provide a certain command, that is npm start. So it is a certain notation, it's a standard notation, npm start. Although I told you that if you are, I'm not using npm start, I'm using, for example, subscribe, as you can see over here. So while I'm using subscribe over here, it doesn't make any difference. You can use subscribe. It doesn't requires any difference. But to run my particular command, for example, I was telling you that I create a side by side. I have created one file name.js. So name.js is my particular file. In that file I wrote a command, for example, console.log. For example, inside console.log I named as Vedant Shukla. Okay, over there's no problem. So while I'm using console.log, okay, it's not visible. Actually, I'm using console.log, and for example, writing any printing any statement, for example, Vedant Shukla and all those things in my name file, and that is name JavaScript file. So in that file, it doesn't provides any kind of a, you can say, for example, I'm writing any statement and I want to indicate that statement over there also. Okay, so in Node.js we use command in command in terminals, as I told you also. But here again I use a particular command and I modified in my scripts, like I wrote subscribe over there and no and name of my file. and subscribe and name of my file. You can even write your name ABC and XYZ, and you can write the name of the file. The name of the file is it's important. You can the command that you want to use, you can under scripts you can use it any command like here I use, you can see subscribe. So here I have used subscribe. Okay, so npm subscribe, npm space, and then I use subscribe over there. So this it doesn't make any difference as I said earlier. But then also you can see over here that it is providing it is asking me to debug it because it is showing a kind of an error, and it is indicating as an npm error. So why it's a complete log of error? Why in my directory why I'm getting this error? Let's look up at that. Actually I was using because I was using npm command, and it is a kind of an unknown command. For example, for example, if I'm using start is a standard notation. I told you also in the last session that start is a standard notation. But while you are using any particular your name or you're defining with yourself in inside scripts, it will be, then you have to use it in a standard manner. And what is that standard manner? So because Node.js it cannot understand it directly, because it is a, you can say it is a package. It is a because Node.js provides a runtime environment for to run JavaScript. So it is a runtime environment, and it doesn't have that logic to run your proper program. So you have to run a proper piece of code. So you have to give commands in a proper notation. So for it's an unknown command for Node.js. So what is inbuilt a standard command? That is, you can say it's a kind of an inbuilt command that is start. Although I'm not using start over there, so you can use npm start, or you can use npm. You can say npm run subscribe. For example, if you're using any your particular if you're using any particular your command, sorry, yes, you are using particular your command, you have to you have to run the command as npm run subscribe or npm run xyz, whatever the yourself defining your command. While you're using, if you're using start over there, so start doesn't makes any difference. For example, if you're using start, so you can write npm space start. There you cannot use npm run start. So at this much of part, if you have any doubt, you can please ask me. I can explain it again, although it's a very simple part. I just want you people to understand the difference between how to npm run subscribe or npm run and npm start. So here I have to use npm start. Then my error can get resolved. Otherwise, I will get an error. While if I'm using npm start over already, if I'm defining npm start over there, so it won't provide me an error. So you can see over there. Okay, so npm start. If I'm using npm start, it won't provide an error. So so this is a total, you can say this is a short story of previous session. So let me start the new set of topic. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me in this session only, or you can comment it down. So let's, okay, now what I did, I just now because I was telling you about that today I will be explaining you about modules. Okay, vision of packages. Now I am telling you about modules, what modules are, or how do we use a module. Okay, so what basically modules are? Modules are your inbuilt, you can say, packages that you install in your Node.js. For example, you have to use, for example, there's any module. If I talk about a math, and I'm using a math function in, for example, some simple addition. So for example, what I did over there, I simple created. See, if you know about the basics of JavaScript, as I've already explained you in the some last sessions, and very, you can say, older sessions. So there I you can say explained you how to, I taught how to create a function in JavaScript. Well, okay, so for example, if this is a proper JavaScript code, it doesn't have any kind of a changes. It's a simple JavaScript code. In this JavaScript code, I created one function as add function space add is my add function over there. Under that particular function, I passed up the two parameters, that is v and s. then I'm returning those parameters at return v plus s, because I have to show that particular operation also. For example, if I'm using addition, I have to use addition v plus, I'm using my parameters as v plus s. Or if I'm using subtraction, I have to use my parameters as v minus s. So while I'm printing it under my statement and under my printing statement console.log, I have to use it as a particular, I have to use properly, and I will be getting other particular addition, result of an addition. But if you can see it properly, you can see that I am not getting my I'm not getting my result. Okay, I'm not getting my result. Okay, I'm just getting something. I'm just getting something else. And what I'm getting, I'm just getting NA. I'm just getting NAN function. Okay, why I'm getting NAN function? NAN is you can say every as I told you earlier also, that NAN in JavaScript represents not a number. So while I am using my printing statement, as you can see over here, uh, my what my printing statement like my point, where is my pointer over there? So I'm using my printing statement add, and I've passed some numbers, and my number that 88107 and 78965. Rather than giving my particular result, it is the you can say result, what what I can see over here is NaN. So why this particular difference has been created, or why this particular difference has been made? It is a concept of a JavaScript code that, for example, if I'm using console.log for while using my printing statement, and I have to use that particular function that I have defined, like function add. So because I'm adding, so while add CBC add is not a kind of a building function in JavaScript. So while I'm using add, so then since I've used inside my parameters v plus s. But if I'm using my numbers as 88107 and 987 and 695, these numbers I cannot represent over here add. If you just look over here, what I did, see, you can see plus symbol, because I use my add operator. So this add operator is restricted over here. You cannot use an add operator. If you're using an add operator, you're getting your result like that. And that is a totally that is, you can say, a kind of an error, or not an error, but not valid not it's not a valid operation, although it's not given in an error, but it is not a valid operation, because if you want to see the particular result of your code. Okay, so what I have to do, instead of doing this, I have to show it like that. What I did, I just simply invoked like the numbers, and I have to use comma instead of using an plus symbol, and I can give my result as 1,86,802. So that was the result by while I'm using my addition operation. Okay, so that's all over. Okay, now one thing more. For example, if you are running your file, rather than using npm start and npm starter or npm run your particular file, you can use it, for example, node and name of your file. Node, for example, my file name is name.js, and I'm using node over there, so I can get up that I can, while doing that also, I can get my result. Okay, so let's move up to the next part. So I hope that this was a very simple thing, and you people are getting all those things. If you have any doubt, you can please ask me. Okay, now let's move up to the next slide. Then what does next slide talks about? Okay, I just simply add those things, and I was saying that I get my particular result that I wanted to capture about. Now let's see. While I was writing, while I was not creating any okay, for example, here you can see the difference between these two these two screens. The first screen, what my Visual Studio Code, firstly I haven't created, I just created over there one file. I just created over there one file, and that one file is named as name.js, and that one file was named as name.js, and the second file has been named as math.js. So I have okay, say instantly intentionally I've created one more file, that is math.js, because in name.js, what I will do, and math.js what I will do, let's look up that particular thing. uh, currently I'm opening my name.js file. Okay, currently I'm opening my name file. At my name file, it has been locating or pointing over there, that for example, if you're using invoking some values over there. So, okay, so then again, there's one another file, that is math.js. Okay, here I have created two files for this name.js, and second file is math.js. This is important thing. It's a important thing to study about. So I have ready with my two files. I got ready with my two files, math.js and name.js. Currently I'm opening my name.js, but I removed all those functions that I had created over there in that file. I removed those functions, and then again I want that my particular function particular function give the same result as it was giving previously. So will it give the same result or not? Let's look up that particular thing. See, math.js, why I created math.js, since I have to use it as since we are studying about modules. So now this is a particular you can say running of a module, or how this is particular understanding of a module, that how module is working over here. So here, how the module is working over here. For example, I have created two files, name.js and math.js. I have just but but I just deleted over those particular functions, like function of add and all those things. But and currently I'm opening my name.js file. So it will be showing up me the reference error. And what is reference error? See, what is reference error? That means that add is not defined over here, because what my reference is, that add is not a inbuilt function, as I said earlier. So you have to create one function of add. For example, if I create my function of my name Vedant, so if I'm creating the function of my name Vedant or Vedant Shukla, so this is my responsibility to call up that function. But but if I'm not creating my name of my function, for example, my function is Vedant, and I'm not creating that particular Vedant function, and then again I want to call it, or I want to use it, then it will be totally senseless to use, because I have, if I'm not creating a particular function, I'm not it's not uh, I cannot use that particular function. Okay, it's not allowed to use any particular function. Oh, okay, so I do not have that power. So but I'm using it, so I'm getting a difference. What that it is asking my so my terminal is particular asking that from where it has been referencing, or from where point, at what point of view you are getting your referencing your add function. Okay, okay. So uh, so you can say, you can easily understand it like that it has the tendency to it has that particular tendency to see that take it as an anonymous function. Okay, so to avoid that, to avoid those errors, what we do, uh, we have created uh, 1 minute. Yes, so we have actually we will be creating that particular function in math.js also. But let's not understand this, that let's leave that particular part, just because we are opening in .js file. So let's study about this file only. I will be explaining in the next later on. See, what happens for that, I have to use I have to I'm using one function as math. Okay, for example, I'm using one function as math, and because that's, for that I have to define that function. I've defined with const. I defined const math, and that is equals to require. So required is a keyword in your Java, in your so require is a keyword over here. So what required, so while you're not implementing require, you will get in a reference error always. So to avoid that reference error, you can understand, like, you have to use require, because it is like that you require some any function. So for so you have to so you have to in JavaScript. So for Java, see, JavaScript works in a browser. So JavaScript should get that knowledge, shall so Java that knowledge that you are using that particular function. JavaScript is not so, you can say, well understood, that it cannot take the difference on its own. So we use it's a require is an inbuilt function, and we are using require to make JavaScript to ensure JavaScript that we are using that particular function over there. Inside that we are writing the name of our file. What is this? See, let's don't get confused that this is under colon in brackets. We are using math. It's not math. This math is not that math. This math is not that math that we have took. It's math of a name of a file. Actually, what is happening? You can see in your in the terminal. It is getting a error. Okay, so it is not see in so it doesn't it does not have the tendency to show a proper error and indicates that this kind of I'm getting this kind of an error. It is showing like that module not found. And at what point module not found is not found is indicated at a particular start at specific start at a specific stack. That particular module has not been found. That means that there is one particular stack. See, as the files have been storing in the inside of a stack. So it is a role of a directory to so it is a role of a direct it is the role of your, you can say, code to understand that particular directory and fetch the result from a particular directory and then show up in your result. Although it's a very technical language, let me make it clear. There's your you have your code that is module not found. Okay, that it is referencing that module is not found because it is not able to understand that from where you are fetching this result. Actually, it is not able to fetch your in short, it is not able to fetch your name of your file. So for that you have to create the name, you have to specify that particular where your particular file is. And here you can say I just wrote over there math. And so why it will be showing like me as that math. So I have to use it properly. So for example, that is the reason that in that stack, what is my required stack? My required stack is the at particular location where I created my file. As I had created my file at Nodejs part 1 folder. It's the name of my folder. Okay, and in as I had created two folders over there. So folder inside a folder, and inside the folder I have a file over there. So inside a folder I have a file, and that particular file, it is locating that particular directory and onto the stack. And that is the reason it has not been able to understand in directory, and it is showing as module not found as your error. Or you can say warning, you can say kind of a warning, but although it's an error, okay. So now what I did, I just simply told my you can say require function. I simply told up my file. I modified the name of my file with my directory. And to represent your directory, you have to use the symbol it as the dot under then slash, then the name of the file, what your name of your file is, and where it has been stored. Okay, so this name of file. So it is able to fetch your particulars. It is able to fetch your particular stack, that where your required stack is. Okay, so this is the particular thing that you have to understand, that you have to so there is one required stack. So, and that particular required stack, you have some modules over there, and inside those modules you have been stored. So for fetching of those modules, you have to indicate that particular directory. So that is what your understanding of your code. So that's how your JavaScript can understand your code, your logic. That okay, from that file, from that directory, I have to store my result, and from there it is giving you an result. So in short, this is a role. So this is what your module is. So this is the use of a module. Now you can say that while not implementing all those things and while using a simple function, you can this is also, it was showing an error, and we are doing such lot of things, and we are not able to do a simple task. So that's because this is a role of a module, and what is the use and benefits of module, you will be understanding later on. So that is what that is what the modules are. So this is the role of a module. So when you will be doing implementing on your own, so you will be understanding, and you will get you will get an interest that yes, it is an interesting part, that how much errors, and step by step we are resolving those errors. So that what Node.js is, and that is a concept of a simple module. Okay, so again it is so again what I so again it is showing me any reference error that one so although I had resolved my error. So as you can see over here, my error was resolved. Although it was shown that add is not defined over there, so we can rectify it in future later on. So although it has been decided that my you can say so although it has been decided that my you can say uh, so although it has been decided that my required stack has been rectified and it has been indicated properly. So the reference error was there that add is not defined. Actually, for example, in console.log, so this is your here here I'm using add, and actually I'm not using add. So the reference error is you can get a reference error. So here you can see you haven't used an add function over there. So now when I'm using this printing statement math, you can see over here I'm getting these curly braces, and it is so what does it indicates that my module or my module is totally empty. I do not have particular you can function particular function in my code. Okay, so that is what the rule of a module. So step by step you will be understanding that how the module is working over here. So it seems or it indicates that particular module is empty over here. Okay, so how to resolve this particular thing? So actually what happens, it builds a custom library. So okay, this const math is building a custom library. Okay, so I was telling you about that it creates one custom library. So custom library you can relate it as a kind of a directory over there. So that is the reason that's how you can create a custom library, and while doing that particular task, so that particular task, in next step what you have to do, you have to you have to import a function. And that see what is the logic behind that? Actually you are importing that name.js file to mat.js file. That means you're importing two files. It you can see in a simple language that it is linking x file to a y file. Okay, so when you're linking two files, so while so basically you can export a function over there. So when you can, so moduling is just like importing one file to another file, and at the end of the day you have to export a function over there. While importing what does it mean to export a function? Exporting a function means to make it public. For example, if I'm standing in any y position, and I want to get the result from any x position, because half of my result half of my you can say functioning is indicated in x position. So I have to get that particular directory for particular you can say signal. So what is you can say that signal is implemented in y in my y location. So that is what the logic behind it. So you are exporting a function, that is means you are making it public. And while I'm using that particular thing, that module dot exports, you can see, and for example and I use that simple function that I use a simple function that I was using in name.js, and at model.exports I'm using my name. For example, my name is Vedant. Okay, I'm using my name Vedant. So I'm using my here I'm using my name, and while here I'm using my name. So here you can say I will be getting a simple result over here. As you can see over here, that math value is Vedant. Like over here, math value is Vedant. Okay, so how it is showing that math value is Vedant? So what does that logic means that math value is Vedant? Math value is Vedant. It means that, for example, in console.log, what I did, I just simply see math value is, it's a simple you can say a printing statement. And math, see, because I defined a const math with the const math, and as I had defined it, so I there so I can use over there you can use over there, and I cannot get any error or something. So simply it means math value is Vedant. it is getting a result. So it also means that I'm successfully able to export a certain function. Okay, so that is the logic behind that. So here you can see that model dot exports. Now what will we not what we will be doing, we will be just understanding that see there's one difference error. You can see what a is not defined, so don't get to that particular error. Actually I just used one experimentation that I just took one of my parameter as a, and then I'm using it. So although you will be getting an error always. So for example, you are using any particular parameter, for example v, so you have to use v in your v or s. So it's very simple logic. So that is the reason it was showing an inference error. So I created over there two functions, add and subtract. Then I pass the two parameters, and I'm returning those as usual. So actually, this is a concept of method overriding. So I will be explaining you in the next session at what particular method overriding is. Likewise, you can understand it right now that I use a model.exports add, and over here you can easily get the result, and you can easily get the result of an add. but but while I'm using it as, you can say, okay, but while I'm using that model.exports, you can say add then and the subtract. So while I can will be getting the result of an I will be getting the result of an add and not subtract. Likewise, because I was using the first function, and I will be getting the result of the second function. That means it's a concept of matter overriding. So I'm just stopping over here that this much of session, because we are running shortage of time. So I think you must be understanding what I'm trying to explain you today. And if you have any doubt, you can also encounter with your you can say doubts. So before that, there's one, you can say, task for you, and then there's an assignment to find out that particular result of that function. If you are, I'm giving you some few seconds to resolve it, because we are running shortage of time, or I should tell up the answer. Okay, there's no one. Okay, I think no one will be going to.
I think I don't know the solution method you get.
Okay. So let me deliver you the particular concept. Actually, what happens over here is, see, what is f double o? Foo is a defined function over here. So it doesn't make any sense to what explain you foo. What is foo? So foo is a function over here. And inside that we have passed some parameters a and b. It's always clear. Then we are printing it. Then we are printing arguments one. So this makes a logic a little bit different. That what does it mean? It means that arguments one, and then it is enclosing over there, and foo three, likewise it is showing like that. So what does that mean? See, let's start up with the last thing, the last point. That foo three. That what this foo three is. That means it is passing up. So it is passing up the value. So value of an argument. So it is passing up the value of an argument. Whereas console.log arguments one over here is a defined argument, and it is working, or it is acting as an object over here. First understand this, that it is working as an object over here. So what kind of an object? An object that is specifying an array. So you can call it as an array like objects. So arguments are over here is an array like object that contains a certain result or a certain value. So for example, arguments one over here is an array. So it is storing like up an array. So why it is storing up like an array? So you can understand it like that it contains some values. Okay, so my although I have passed the two parameters a and b, so this so answer, let me okay, reveal you the answer first. Answer will be undefined. Now just track that particular thing, that why it will be showing you an undefined result. So undefined result will be getting undefined. Okay, again listen, it is undefined. Why it is showing you undefined? That arguments one is not defined over here. While what does it means? There's one last function foo. So foo is so what does this foo means? Foo this foo means. So it is directly providing you the value to an argument. So likewise, argument one has storing some value. So for example, I have an array A. So inside that I'm an array A, and an array A, and I'm storing some values for 4, 5, 6 over here. But it's a one-dimensional array. But I just want to store up I'm using it as an object. I'm storing a single value of 2 or 3. So likewise, in arguments, one is containing some values. Acting like an array-like object that contains some values over here. So it will be fetching the values from this last FOO3 FOO3. That means last foo value, this foo argument, and this foo is referencing to the first line, that is function foo a comma b. Okay, it is referencing to the first line, that is function foo a comma b. So but over the problem over here is we passed at the one statement console.log arguments one, no problem. But so likewise, this argument one should have the value as 3, but this 3 indicates the value of a function a, this a, the first argument, the first parameter a. So here a is equals to 3, but always remember this particular, so arguments one should always also be considered as 3. But always remember that thing, that our index, because it is showing up like an array, and indexing starts from always 0 in array. So while it starts from 0, so that is a certain amount of reason. So that is a certain reason um, arguments one has been getting in result as an undefined, while over here is, or if I would be passing argument 0 over here in this array, then my result will be 3. While if I'm using 3 as an argument in the last sentence, while I was using like 3 comma 4, then or 3 comma 7, then arguments one will be storing up telling you the value as 7, not 3. But here but here you will be getting an undefined. So have you got that logic clear, or I should explain it again? If you do not have the clarity, I will be explaining it again.
Clear, Vedant, clear.
Yeah, okay. So although it's a little bit complex thing, but you have any doubt, you can ask me again. So although I have just completed with my today's session. So if you have any question and answers, you can please encounter it with me. So one thing I just want to okay, so one thing I just want to explain you, that is what is strict mode in JavaScript. Actually, in JavaScript, what is strict mode? Strict mode is, for example, okay, I will not be taking much time, but in short, you can explain, you can understand like that. That strict mode is a mode that while using that particular mode, you are not able to switch to any. It restricts some functions actually. For example, you want to delete any variable, but while using strict mode, you cannot delete it directly. For example, there is an for example, I'm using any variable as x over here, and I'm outside the function, and although I'm not defining it with the I'm not defining that particular x function. I'm using it like that. So if I'm enabling the strict mode, for example, and how it works, it's underscore, okay, inverted commas use strict. This is the particular statement if I'm using. So it will be showing up me an error. So basically, developers of a JavaScript prefer this function for many reasons, to find a debugs, to avoid debugs, because in when you move to a companies, you have a very large code base, and those code base, there you might have problem that you might face problem this that you are facing an error and debugs, you're facing an error and all those things. So if this strict mode is enabled, so you cannot use it unnecessary. So it restricts most of the methods. So I will be in the session, because we are running short of time, I have to explain a lot. But in next session, I will be explaining you more about the strict mode, what strict mode does. So thank you so much for the session. If you have any doubt in strict mode, again, I can answer you again.
No, Rudransh, I don't have any doubt. Thank you, Rudransh.
Vedant,